Roger Stone here. Your dollars are losing ground, but gold isn't. American Sovereign Bullion helps you protect your wealth through real, tangible assets. Through their nationwide wholesaler network, you get some of the best pricing on gold and silver delivered straight to your door. Since 1912, the U.S. dollar has lost 97% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold continues to prove its strength. So call 844-272-2428. That's 844-272-2428. Or visit dyingdollar.com to request your free gold and silver guide. That's dyingdollar.com.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. The Four Seasons is back for season 2, starring Tina Fey, Will Forte, Coleman Domingo, Marco Calvani, Carrie Kenny Silver, and Erica Henningsen. After a difficult year, your favorite group of friends continues their tradition of vacationing together, now with a baby in tow. From the Jersey Shore to upstate New York and Italy, their getaways are sure to take unexpected turns where comedy ensues. Watch The Four Seasons, now streaming only on Netflix.
Sid and Friends in the morning. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I'm sorry, Sid. Hi.
Oh, God, don't be sorry. You kidding me?
No, I'm wrapped up in these meetings on peace. And I said, it's between peace and Sid Rosenberg. And I said, let's take Rosenberg, okay? So.
Huge crowds line Fifth Avenue for the annual Israel Day Parade, but this year's event also played out against a political backdrop. Mayor Zohran Mamdani became the first mayor in recent history not to attend. Naomi Ruckham spoke with parade goers.
Whatever is going on in City Hall, folks here say they want the focus to be here on Fifth Avenue and this long-standing tradition for Jewish New Yorkers.
Make some noise if you love Israel.
A sea of blue and white took over Fifth Avenue Sunday as thousands of people marched in the annual Israel Day Parade and even more cheered from the sidewalk.
Oh, it's amazing. It's a day to celebrate everybody, just show love and support and prayers for peace.
The parade stretched for blocks through the Upper East Side.
We are proud Jews. We're proud of Israel, and we need it. We need it to be there.
NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch served as Grand Marshal and marched alongside former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Governor Kathy Hochul marched as well.
Hate against one is hate against all, and I, as the governor of the greatest state in the nation, will not tolerate it.
Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman also joined the parade, as did U.S. Representative Mike Lawler, both Republicans who have been critical of Mayor Mamdani.
I think it's absolutely disgraceful that the mayor of New York City, a city that has the largest Jewish population outside of the state of Israel, chose not to be here.
Marchers and spectators spoke openly about the absence of the mayor.
More people, and I think more people showed up just because Mamdani didn't. We want to send a message that we are not going to be cowed and we are strong.
Mayor Mamdani said along the campaign trail and reiterated earlier this week that he would not attend.
You know, I said on the campaign trail that I wouldn't be attending the parade, and I've made my views on the Israeli government abundantly clear.
City officials say security for this year's parade was the most extensive in the event's history.
The police have been great, better than ever.
The crowds out here certainly feel record-breaking, as many folks we spoke to also tell us they feel extremely safe during this year's parade. On the Upper East Side, Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
Governor Hochul signed a sweeping set of laws that she says will protect New Yorkers against aggressive immigration enforcement, including a mask ban.
News 4's Erica Byfield was there for the signing and has a closer look at the new laws.
The immigration debate rages on. This group showed up at the governor's office out of frustration and thinking that Kathy Hochul isn't going far enough to protect immigrants. Just hours earlier, we were with her.
This is an important day for our state.
On Friday, she held an intimate roundtable discussion with religious leaders, community advocates, and everyday New Yorkers ahead of signing sweeping legislation, taking on the Trump administration's immigration policies.
And I'm really proud of this day. It was a long negotiation with the legislature, a lot of opinions on this. but I knew at the end of the day that we had to show communities that we are here to protect them.
Among the new laws, law enforcement cannot wear a mask on the job. Additionally, federal immigration authorities can no longer deputize local cops, use them to help them detain people. Another new state law, federal agents can't go into sensitive places like schools and places of worship for immigration enforcement. One more change, a provision, makes it easier for New Yorkers to sue government officials or agencies. The governor stressed that New York is not a sanctuary for dangerous criminals. She sees the state as a place for anyone trying to better themselves, saying that she's ready if the feds challenge any of these laws, including that mask ban.
This will be the law of the state of New York, and they're required to follow it. If there's litigation, we'll be ready to fight that, to stop it.
It is 9 p.m. The curfew is now in effect. It is 9 p.m. The curfew is now in effect.
Developing now, a curfew in effect for the area around Delaney Hall. Police in riot gear surround anti-ICE protesters. Apparent rubber bullets fired and at least one person arrested. Newark's mayor enacted the curfew to prevent violent clashes like what we saw last night and the night before. The curfew is in place until 6 a.m., encompassing a half-mile radius around the ICE detention facility. Officials say it will continue each night until further notice. Allie Bauman is at the scene in Newark, where police are now pushing crowds back.
Right now, we are at the border of that half-mile radius around Delaney Hall, where a curfew is now in effect.
9 p.m. The curfew is now in effect.
A warning to protesters echoed when the 9 p.m. curfew went into effect. 13 minutes later, state police in riot gear rushed toward the crowd. Officers on horses came in from the other side, surrounding the crowd and herding them away into a standoff. The city of Newark setting the curfew Sunday within a half-mile radius of the ICE detention center following nights of violent clashes between police and protesters. Governor Mikey Sherrill brought state police in last week following a surge in ICE presence to the area, which she says inflamed protests against the detention center.
Violent, chaotic clashes hurt everyone. They put the lives of both protesters and law enforcement in danger. They take the focus away from people inside Delaney Hall and their families. And they raise the temperature with ICE.
Immigration advocates say detainees have been on a hunger strike for more than a week over poor living conditions.
You still have to treat people like humans, even if they are not originally from here. None of us are.
Sunday, Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries toured the facility with Congress members Gottheimer, Menendez, and McIver.
We spoke to several individuals, none of whom has a criminal record.
The DHS acting secretary is denying claims of poor conditions, saying, quote, sanctuary politicians are spreading categorically false smears about ICE's Delaney Hall facility in New Jersey. These types of smears are inciting violent riots. And the Department of Homeland Security has now restored family visitation at Delaney Hall. The city of Newark says this curfew will continue indefinitely each night between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m.
He hates you. He wants you dead. He wants you dead.
You actually believe that Mayor Mamdani wants Jews to be dead?
I'm not sure he doesn't. That's my answer.
What basis do you have for that?
I don't think he cares either way.
I mean, to say that he wants people dead is a scary thing for people to believe, and you have a lot of people who follow you.
Prove me wrong. When you've got a mayor who's not here today, the only mayor in the history of our city, Melissa, you're a smart girl, okay, who uses some nonsense excuse about Israel and Bibi. Is this parade in Tel Aviv? Is Bibi Netanyahu here? It's nothing to do with Israel and Bibi. He hates the Jewish people. He hates us.
But does his absence actually mean that he wants them dead? I mean, is that not inflammatory?
Not inflammatory to me. It's more, why don't you ask him about his wife?
We have asked him. Sure we have.
The press in this city is much more obsessed with what Sid Rosenberg says on a radio show than what the mayor, his wife, and his father. You guys should be pressing that guy every single day and not worry what I have to say at a private Jewish event on a Wednesday night in Battery Park.
As the mayor of our city, I take seriously my responsibility to protect the safety and well-being of every New Yorker and every event, regardless of my attendance.
With due respect, Sid, you have a big following and people listen to you. And if you're telling people that Mayor Mamdani wants Jews dead, does that not make Jews feel more fearful than they already do? Isn't he providing the resources and having his police commissioner protect this parade?
Well, hold on a second. He's providing resources. He had two opportunities to put buffer zones in front of synagogues and shuls. He did neither one. He celebrated Nakba Day. Listen, if I say something that's a little inflammatory, he says stuff every day that's inflammatory. Tough. Every opportunity, he fails. You're doing a good job. Thank you very much.
So, part of our first ever live taping of the Erin Molan Show in New York City has gone viral. Sid Rosenberg, it's nothing new for him. This is the moment. Watch.
This guy can't win again. That's the bottom line. This is the worst mayor in the history of New York City. He's the most dangerous politician in the history of our country. If anybody out here tonight actually voted for Mamdani, shame on you, because I am seeing way too many Jewish people at Gracie Mansion and hanging out with the mayor, telling me how good he is. He's a horrible person. He hates you. He wants you dead. He wants you dead. He's the only mayor in the history of our city that will not show up Sunday at the Israeli Day Parade. I don't want him there. He's the last person I want to see there, but he's got to go.
Now, some of the responses are, well, to borrow their terminology, unhinged. Now, think about it. The job of any mayor, any leader, whether it be of a city, of a state, of a nation, is to keep its people safe. And not just the people they particularly like, all the people. And if you're in a position of power and leadership, it is your job to do every single thing within your power to keep them safe. Answer me this. Has Mayor Mamdani done everything in his power to keep the Jewish community in New York City safe? Hell no. And not only has he refused to take the appropriate action almost every time it's put in front of him, he's done the opposite. He's contributed to one of the most unsafe environments in New York City for Jews ever. So is it that unhinged that Sid Rosenberg would say he wants them dead? The opposite of wanting someone dead is doing everything in your power to keep them alive if you're in a position to do so. Mamdani's done nothing of the sort. The rhetoric that he uses when it comes to the world's only Jewish state is, well, insane. We've got, of course, Bibi would be arrested and, oh, it's a genocide, even though it is nothing of the sort. The ICC says that too, by the way, Mayor. When you talk like that and when you demonize the world's only Jewish state, you demonize Jews. He supported boycotts. He encourages violent protests against Jews in New York City, then does absolutely nothing to stop them. Did you not see the images coming out over the past month or so, let alone since October 7? Jews harassed in the streets, outside synagogues, worse, attacked. What has he done to stop it? Nothing.
That was a heck of an open, wouldn't you guys say? A lot going on between that Delaney Hall, the ICE facility in New Jersey. You look at the two female governors. Not that they're bad because they're females. It's just funny that the governor in New York is a female, Kathy Hochul, and she's a complete disaster. And then you get Mikey Muhammad Sherrill out in New Jersey, who's every bit as bad as Kathy. Not as bad because I think Kathy actually does more to harm New Yorkers than Sherrill has done in her short stay so far in New Jersey. But nevertheless, Delaney Hall in Newark, still a curfew, still a big issue. These anti-ICE morons, the morons, they're anti-ICE, they're anti-American, and they're out there causing all kinds of trouble. That's still a very, very big story, obviously. Hochul signing all these, I guess, bills, legislation, and just kind of punches ICE across the face. So I'm looking forward to talking to Bruce Blakeman coming up in about 40 minutes. I marched with Bruce Blakeman and all the fine folks of Nassau County yesterday at the Israel Day Parade. Ari Brown was there, and Howard Fencerman, and Gabriel, the kosher guru boxer, and Bruce. There's a million people. Saritha, she's running against Letitia James. Some other young guy running for assembly. I forgot his name. A million people. No Mazi Phillip this year. And Abraham Hanra did not march with us. But I want to talk to Bruce about what Kathy signed yesterday. And Kathy being at the parade, it's so funny seeing some of these people at the Israel Day Parade as if they really care, you know? As if Kathy Hochul really cares about the Jewish community. She couldn't care less. Can we stop the nonsense? What has Kathy Hochul done on a state level in New York to make sure that Jews are okay? And I'm going to bash the living daylights out of Mamdani as I do every day today. But let's be fair. What has Hochul done on a state level? Nothing. She's walking out there smiling, thumbs up. Letitia James. I mean, I don't know, no. Maybe it's just me, but the last person I think, I'm not the last, obviously, Mamdani, but one of the last people I think of when I think about the Jewish people is Letitia James. I came face to face with Chuck Schumer. My wife Danielle is standing right next to me, my beautiful wife, my daughter Ava, her friends. Chuck comes walking up the street, and they're all like, don't say anything, don't do anything. I'm like, I'm not going to say a word. So I stared him down. See, we got there early. I do have to thank Nassau County, Bruce Blakeman, Chris Boyle, Finton McCormack, all those great guys for helping us out when we arrived on Wall Street yesterday. Remember last year, guys, when I got to the parade? Thanks to John Schell. Schell retired. Now he wants to run for mayor. Good luck. I love John. Remember last year, the NYPD had a guy waiting for me and my family, and they drove us through the streets of the parade and then walked with me up and down Fifth Avenue. Remember that, Noam?
I do, yeah.
Well, this year, Nassau County did that. The great Tom Sullivan made sure that me and my family made it safely from Wall Street to the parade route. We got there early. So I was there before basically anybody else. These two young NBC reporters came up to me, and they said, hey, we worked with Melissa Russo. I said, gee, she's a pain in the ass. Exactly what I said, which she actually repeated to me when I met her for the first time about an hour later. And then I started seeing all these dignitaries, I use that word lightly, walking in. Chuck Schumer, Julie Menon. I did say hello to Julie Menon. She comes walking in. The rabbi, we love the rabbi, Joe Potasnik. A few other people, I don't know. I saw Letitia, Hochul, I saw all of them. Eric Adams. Is Eric Adams going to run again?
Who knows? Maybe.
I mean, this guy, he doesn't shut up. He's at every event. He's tweeting 1,000 times a day. Frank Carone, I love you. You know I love you. I'm very close with all the Carone brothers. Frank, Anthony, and Joseph. I love them. But all of a sudden now, Eric Adams is acting like a mayor. He really didn't do much of it for about 3 years. You know, I invited him on the show last week. He won't even return my text anymore. That's fine. I don't care because I tell the truth. This guy tweets all day, shows up at every event. I swear to God, I think he's going to run again. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah, well, I saw that Saturday night, I think it was. He was at the Rebbe's grave praying for the Jewish people.
Well, he did that even during his campaign. It was a joke. He'd show up at 1 o'clock in the morning. So he does that a lot. I have no idea if he's getting Jewish money. But all these Jews, I mean, Bill Ackman, who some days I like and some days I don't. I think he's a bit of an idiot. I don't care how many billions he's worth. He puts out a video. He didn't put it out. He reposted Eric Adams' video yesterday morning. As Eric told everybody, I'm going to the parade. Blah, blah. And Bill Ackman writes, his caption is, he's a good man. He's a good man because he went to the parade. Really, Bill Ackman? That's your barometer of who's a good man or not? And Eric Adams has done a very good job the last couple of years of sucking up to the Jews. And I think they repay him. I really do. I'm not sure what business opportunities he's gotten, but this guy disappeared for 18 months, was everywhere else, including Rome, but New York City, during the scariest time, right after the war broke out in October of 2023. You couldn't find Eric Adams. I had to rely on Eddie Caban. I swear to God, true story. And then when all the heat went away, and then when President Trump made all his legal difficulties go away, Eric Adams started showing up again. And then he decided to run, and he got clobbered. It was so bad, he had to actually leave the race. I mean, he may have done every bit as bad, if not worse, than Curtis Sliwa. And now he walks around town because the guy before him, Bill de Blasio, was so bad. And this guy, Mamdani, is the worst mayor ever. Eric walks around town like he's Rudy Giuliani. And he's at the parade. He's yucking it up. Andrew Cuomo, I saw him at the parade. I didn't say hello, but yucking it up. All these, they're just, it's embarrassing. It really is. I'm not saying that people who are not Jewish shouldn't be there, especially if they're pro-Israel and pro-Jewish. God bless them. But I got a kick out of it, that's all. But I think Adams is going to run again. In fact, here he is. Here's the former mayor just ahead of the Israel Day Parade. This is, I guess, his video that Bill Ackman really liked. Lewis, this is Eric Adams, cut number 2.
Hello, New Yorkers. This Sunday, May 31st, Fifth Avenue will once again become a sea of blue and white as thousands of proud New Yorkers come together to celebrate the unbreakable bond between New York and Israel. As your mayor, I was proud to march in this parade for all 4 years I was in office. And this year will be no different. I'll be right there, marching with tens of thousands of New Yorkers.
Now, there's Eric. So he'll be there, and I guess part of that was I'll be here, but the actual mayor now, he won't be here. So Congressman Randy Fine has gotten into about as much trouble as I have, okay? It's Rosenberg 1, Fine 2, and in New York City, Palladino 3, in terms of getting into trouble in the city and across the country for being critical of Mamdani. And Randy is here today for the Jerusalem Post conference, which I'll be speaking at coming up this afternoon. It's a huge honor. Can't wait to do that after the show. And so Randy is coming into studio, the great congressman out of Florida, Randy Fine, live in studio at about 8:50 this morning. And he talked about yesterday's parade and the mayor being absent. Lewis, this is Congressman Randy Fine, cut number 3.
Well, look, he's a Muslim terrorist, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. He did say during the campaign he wouldn't attend, but it's not because he has issues with the Israeli government. The parade is not celebrating the Israeli government. The parade is celebrating the state of Israel. And people need to understand that Zohran Mamdani has no issue with 60 Muslim-run countries around the world. But the one Jewish state bothers him very, very much. But I'll agree with him on this. I don't want him at the Israel Day parade. Jews don't want to applaud him. He hates them. And so I'm glad he is staying away. That said, he will be held responsible if anything happens during that parade on Sunday.
And nothing happened because Jessica Tisch is the phenomenal commissioner, and she was the grand marshal. You know, I never saw Jessie yesterday, but I did see a Tisch walking off the parade, literally exiting the parade on 74th Street. I walk into a lady. She goes, "Hi, Sid." And it turned out to be Meryl Tisch, Jessica's mom. She recognized me. I didn't know what she looked like. And I loved her. I texted Jess. I go, "I got to tell you, I love your mother." She goes, "You would. She's just like you." So Meryl Tisch, great meeting her yesterday. But Jessica marched with the former mayor, Mike Bloomberg, and there was a lot of police presence between the NYPD. Again, I was with the Nassau County guys. But I wasn't worried. I did not see one protester. Mind you, I've now marched in this parade like the last, 7 years, Noam? I've never seen one protester. Never one. If they're out there, they're like 10 blocks behind us, roped off in a little area. They get nowhere near us. Nowhere near us. So there was never an issue with safety yesterday. Jessica did a great job. But he wasn't there. But what's interesting is Randy Fine comes out at the beginning of that statement, and what does he call the mayor? A Muslim terrorist. Not a terrorist sympathizer, because you remember people were upset with me because I constantly referred to Mamdani as a terrorist. Now, you guys have to understand something. A terrorist doesn't always mean you walk into a community with a gun and kill people. You could be a terrorist without killing anybody. You realize that, right, no?
Yeah.
So people were like, well, wait a second, Sid. He's going to sue you, and you can't call him a terrorist. They never found a bomb in his car or a gun in his car. Don't be so stupid, okay? That's not a terrorist. Not every terrorist kills people. Okay? So he calls him a terrorist, and I had to change what I called him to a terrorist sympathizer, which I hate doing, because when you align yourself with clerics who are alleged co-conspirators in the World Trade Center bombing, and Hassan Piker and Mahmoud Khalil, the base of campus terrorism, and Nurdin, and all these really disgusting people, when you want to globalize the intifada, okay, when you refuse to recognize Israel as a state, when you've got opportunity to put these buffer zones in place to protect Jewish worshipers at synagogues and little kids at yeshivas, and you just don't do it. And you celebrate Nakba Day as if it really existed, when the truth is 5 Arab nations attacked us. We just defended ourselves. Everything this guy believes in, said, and loves is the same exact thing a terrorist would. So I'm glad Randy Fine says it that way. And Randy Fine has been taken to task. And guess what? Last I checked, he's still a congressman. He's got some really vicious anti-Semite named Dan Blizzard. You know who this guy is, no?
I've heard of this guy, sure.
He's running against him down in Florida. He's going to wipe the floor with him. So Randy will be in studio later on today, and hopefully he'll say all those horrible things about Mamdani. I love it. So Melissa Russo, I finally meet her. I got a text from somebody over the weekend that Melissa was looking for me, okay? That she had heard that I said at this MJE event last Wednesday night, which was a magnificent event. Rabbi Mark Wilds did a great job. You remember, nice little panel with me and the college basketball coach, the former Bruce Pearl, and James Maslow, and Erin Molan, who's a huge star in Australia, but is quickly becoming a huge star in New York. Her YouTube show is like #1 here. But trust me, I've been to events with Erin. They love her. They love her. So I did say on stage that night that he wants you dead. And until I hear this man come out and demonize the Intifada, that's what I believe. Because if you folks, you don't know what you're talking about, okay? What is the Intifada all about, Noam?
It's all about basically taking over Israel. They want to reclaim land.
But doing what?
Well, through violence.
Right. They kill Jews.
Yeah.
So if you want to globalize the Intifada, is it fair to assume you've got no issue killing Jews?
Well, if you're globalizing it, that means around the world.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, how many times have people said to Mamdani, what are your thoughts about globalizing the Intifada? And never once did he say, no, I don't want that. How many times? 100? 200? 500?
When he was running, it was all the time. Yeah.
It was all the time. He had the opportunity to say, no. He didn't do that. In the Intifada, Jews are murdered. I mean, I can give you 9,000 examples why when I make that comment, there's nothing wrong. I can back up that comment more than he can't. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, of course.
Right. So Melissa Russo, she's looking for me, and you heard the audio there. She comes up to me, and she thought she was going to get me. I played this for everybody. I got to tell you, I'm not going to give out names. From congressmen to senators to TV people to my own Noam Layton, they all said the same thing. Oh, my God, did you kick her ass? I think, Noam, you said to me, I'm proud of you. Why did you say that?
I don't think you believed me at first.
No, I thought you were kidding.
No, I wasn't.
But why were you proud?
Because she had an agenda, and you weren't going to let her get in, do that. She had an agenda. She wanted to make you look stupid. That was clear by the questions she was asking you. And she even had clips ready to put into her rap, and you didn't let her do it.
She's a nice girl. I happen to like her. I do, and turns out she's Jewish. I thought she was Italian. Her name is Melissa Russo. I guess her husband's Italian, but Melissa's Jewish. And she was very nice. She was, but you're not going to mess with me. Go find yourself some other radio host. But when it comes to this stuff, you're not going to mess with me. I mean, I keep begging Marsha Kramer and Morgan McKay and all these lovely local anchors who run cover for the mayor. That's what Melissa does. Nice girl, very nice girl. But NBC, City and State, what does she do? She runs cover for the mayor, right? That's what she does. So let me play this one more time. She comes up to me. Did you actually say? Yeah, I said it. You know what? Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Melissa Russo. Was she able, Noam, to prove me wrong?
No.
No. This is cut number 4, Lewis, me and Melissa.
He hates you. He wants you dead. He wants you dead.
You actually believe that Mayor Mamdani wants Jews to be dead?
I'm not sure he doesn't. That's my answer.
What basis do you have for that?
I don't think he cares either way.
I mean, to say that he wants people dead is a scary thing for people to believe, and you have a lot of people who follow you.
Prove me wrong. When you've got a mayor who's not here today, the only mayor in the history of our city, Melissa, you're a smart girl, okay, who uses some nonsense excuse about Israel and Bibi. Is this parade in Tel Aviv? Is Bibi Netanyahu here? It's nothing to do with Israel and Bibi. He hates the Jewish people. He hates us.
But does his absence actually mean that he wants them dead? I mean, is that not inflammatory?
Not inflammatory to me. It's more, but why don't you ask him about his wife?
We have asked him. Sure we have.
The press in this city is much more obsessed with what Sid Rosenberg says on a radio show than what the mayor, his wife, and his father. You guys should be pressing that guy every single day and not worry what I have to say at a private Jewish event on a Wednesday night in Battery Park.
As the mayor of our city, I take seriously my responsibility to protect the safety and well-being of every New Yorker and every event, regardless of my attendance.
With due respect, Sid, you have a big following and people listen to you. And if you're telling people that Mayor Mamdani wants Jews dead, does that not make Jews feel more fearful than they already do? Isn't he providing the resources and having his police commissioner protect this parade?
Hold on a second. He's providing resources. He had 2 opportunities to put buffer zones in front of synagogues and shuls. He did neither one. He celebrated Nakba Day. Listen, if I say something that's a little inflammatory, he says stuff every day that's inflammatory. Tough. Every opportunity, he fails. You're doing a good job. Thank you very much. Very Trumpian, I was told on the way out. Noam, how about that? Very good job. Yeah. Kind of smacked her on the shoulder.
You're a smart lady. Yeah, I like that.
You're a smart lady. Come on, Melissa, you're a smart girl. What are you doing? Come on. Again, I like her. She's a nice girl, and she went there with a, like you said, an agenda, and I pulled the carpet from right underneath her feet. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be people all over the city today, these low-life podcasters that they just tee off on me every day, these ridiculous blogs, and maybe even someone on the news. I'm sure John Catsimatidis will get a text today, and how do you have that guy on the air, and how do you do it? Because there's a lot of folks, a lot more than you guys think, that agree with me, a lot more. I was told this weekend that Mamdani, he's not even 6 months in, he's already preparing to run again. He loves the job. That he's admitted publicly. He loves this job. He loves being mayor of New York City. And he's going to run again. He's already thinking about his reelection. He's not 6 months in. He hasn't done one goddamn thing to make this city better. Not one. Maybe a little bit with the child care. I can name you 50 things he's done poorly. He's done one thing okay. 50-1. He's already getting ready for his reelection campaign. And why wouldn't he? I mean, who the hell is out there right now? And I love John Schell. I'm not here to attack John Schell, but Schell has no chance of beating Mamdani. 0. Curtis Sliwa has less of a chance. Am I going to run? I don't know. Maybe. Do I have a chance? Well, I'll tell you what. I'll get the big endorsements both here and from Washington, D.C., and I'll get plenty of money. Plenty. But my wife is not kidding. She will kill me. And I got money to make in this business for her. So I don't know. I mean, I'm leaning towards it, but you got people like Curtis Sliwa, he's a fool. He's embarrassing himself. He's making a mockery of this city and this party. All you folks that love Curtis, he's defended the city. Yes, he has. What he does this year does not erase what he did for the better part of 4 decades, protecting New Yorkers. I will always give Curtis Sliwa credit for that. But what he's doing now is gross. He must have made a ton of money, I guess. I don't know. He works at WOR where they have no money. They pay nobody there. Nobody. I mean, nobody. He didn't need this job here anymore. And now he's going to run again after getting 14% and 7%. So why wouldn't Mamdani be excited about winning again already? Is Jessica Tisch going to run? She'd be, I think, a formidable opponent. I do. Very popular. They loved her at the parade yesterday. I'm not sure what party she would run under. I don't think Julie Menon is going to run, but that remains a possibility. Those are the big tier names, right? You start talking about Jessica Tisch, Julie Menon. Something tells me, I'm telling you folks, that Eric Adams tries it again, and me. And then, Michael Rappaport may jump in. I don't know. But you have the big tier names, but even those right now, I'm not sure would beat this guy. This guy is already looking at his re-election campaign.
Yeah,
already.
I'm not surprised. I mean, of course he is.
He's not even 6 months in.
Yeah.
He's done nothing, and I mean nothing to improve this city. 0. There were so many people that were happy he wasn't there yesterday. I know Mike Loeffler made a point, he should be here, it's a disgrace. No, he shouldn't be there. I disagree. Ideally, sure, the mayor should be there, but no one cared. Nobody was looking for the mayor. In fact, a few people brought cardboard cutouts, like Lizzie Savetsky and others, and I guess cute. But I didn't care. I wasn't looking for him. Look, to be honest, I wasn't looking for Eric Adams last year. I don't care about the mayors and the politicians. They're not the people that are fighting every day. They're not. They use Israel and the Jewish stuff to get votes. That's all they do. I think Eric actually does care. He does, but he did a lousy job after the war. A lousy job. But most of these people, even the Jews, they don't care. Daniel Goldman, Bernie Sanders, Chuck Schumer, all these, Jamie Raskin, Jerry Nadler, they don't care. Kathy Hochul, you think Kathy Hochul cares? She's living up there, and wherever she lives in Buffalo, Albany, you can't find a Jew. You can't find one. Except for maybe the guys that own the Bills. I don't even know. Who owns the Buffalo Bills these days?
I have no idea.
I don't even know. But it's all just for votes That's all they care about. Talking about votes, tomorrow's a huge day. You got the California races. That's what everybody is talking about. That's it. Spencer Pratt out there for mayor. And it's funny, I was watching One Nation with Brian Kilmeade last night because I was on it. 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday night. It's late. I slept 3.5 hours. But I was on it, and I enjoyed it. But right before me, he had Harvey Levin on the show. Harvey out there with TMZ in Los Angeles, and Harvey was talking specifically about these the mayor's race. Not even Governor Steve Hilton never came up, but Spencer Pratt. And Harvey was like, yeah, kind of like him. He's no savior. Harvey's one of those guys who is pretty practical about politicians and where we're going, He's kind of down the middle, if you will. And all the numbers I've seen the last couple of days have Spencer Pratt gaining, but in third. I keep seeing him behind not just the incumbent Karen Bass, but that psycho DSA candidate. Now, he's only 1 percentage point behind, so a lot of folks think he will make it and be part of that one-man and woman jungle primary tomorrow. But I keep seeing the latest numbers have him in third. Is that what you're seeing, Noah?
Well, there's actually one poll, McLaughlin and Associates poll, that has Spencer Pratt tied with Karen Bass.
Okay, ahead of Niffa, whatever her name is.
Yeah, so if it were to end the way this poll says, it would be Karen Bass against Spencer Pratt in November.
Right. He pulled the God card, Spencer Pratt. I like everything about this guy, except when he went there. I'm not going to lie to you. This was recently, Lewis. This would be Spencer Pratt. Remember when Eric Adams used to say that he spoke to God? It was really insane. It bordered on absolute maniacal. Well, Spencer Pratt kind of went there. He said he thinks God wants him to win. So here he is, hopefully the guy that does win it, hopefully the next mayor in Los Angeles, Spencer Pratt, Lewis, cut number 9.
I have a feeling God wants me just to win with 51% on June 2nd, and it's over. I believe it's a low turnout election, and that's why, again, I'm on this beautiful couch to remind everybody to get your ballots in today. Don't wait till June 2nd, because we will definitely win if everyone who's as angry as me in Los Angeles just goes and votes, and they don't just share things on social media or tell their friend they're angry. They physically go vote, and they don't have to wait till June 2nd. A lot of people are concerned about elections and you've got to vote in person. No, you vote today. You put it in the mailbox, you drop it in the ballot box. We win with the most votes. And a lot of people, again, in California are concerned about, election fraud. We can always outvote cheating, period. And we can do that literally in the next 5 days with just moms alone and animal lovers, because I'm also going to stop the abuse of these dogs on the streets and these alleged no-kill shelters.
I guess that's a big thing. I don't know. A lot of politicians with the no-kill shelters and the animals, and I love animals as much as anybody. I've had a dog basically our whole lives, me and Danielle, but my God, I don't want to hear that on the campaign trail. I should tell Curtis to shut up about the cats.
Yeah, well, it's almost the same platform.
It is the same platform, and you don't win. Who's won with that? Can you name one person who's had great political success?
I'm
talking about
sure
stopping kill shelters.
I'm sure there's someone.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I mean, enough.
But that can't
of
be the big thing.
No, stop it. Stop it. Homelessness, drugs, dirt, filth, crime.
But he's talked
taxes.
about all those things, by the way.
Yeah, he does. But there he made it about 2 things. And the second thing was kill shelters. I mean, stop it. I'm begging you to stop it, please. But I still want him to win. That's the big one tomorrow. Locally, you've got a few races, too.
Well, don't forget the governor's race. Because
right, Steve Hilton, right.
Yeah, I mean, right now there's a poll that says Steve Hilton is in third place and that 2 Democrats would win the primary.
See, it's
tomorrow.
funny because I saw a poll on Friday that had him and Bianco, the sheriff, 2 Republicans on top.
Yeah. Well, everybody does, I don't know who this poll sampled, but it has Tom Steyer in second place. Communist, billionaire Tom Steyer in second place? Yeah.
See, tomorrow's a big day, folks. We had Stella Escobedo on this show last week. We had Elizabeth Barcahona on the show the week before. 2 very involved California ladies. They seem to think that both Spencer Pratt and Hilton will make the runoff, the final 2. But we're going to find out tomorrow, aren't we? And then here you've got a couple. My buddy Alex Zidane, I've been endorsing him, supporting him for the better part of 2 months. I'd love to see him win that 4-man primary tomorrow in New Jersey and take on Cory Booker come November. I don't know. It's going to be a tough race, the primary alone. I mean, Booker is going to be incredibly difficult to beat. He's a very popular guy for a complete dope. That's all Cory Booker is, one long-talking dope. He's done nothing. Another guy that's done nothing for the state of New Jersey, nothing. But he's going to be tough to beat, I understand that. But tomorrow's that primary, and then it turns out, I didn't know this until yesterday, my guy Jack Manzo reached out to me, that the former New York football giant great Plaxico Burress, you remember Plax? Caught that game-winning touchdown in that Super Bowl win over the Patriots from Eli Manning, had great years here in New York. And I've had Plax on many times, met Plax many times. He worked with Craig Carton for many years over at Fox Sports 1. His wife, Tiffany, is running for a House seat in, I believe, District 9. You know what that is, Noam, in New Jersey?
It's District 9, like Passaic County.
Is that what that is?
I think so. I have to look it up.
I don't know. She's coming on at 7:35. Tiffany Burress, the wife of Plaxico Burress, for the House of Reps in District 9 in New Jersey. So a bunch of races come your way tomorrow. Talking about Jersey, Mikey Muhammad Cheryl, I mentioned her earlier. She wants Delaney Hall shut down, the ICE detention center in Newark. She's another one, much like Mamdani. See, Mamdani, he encourages the pro-Hamas, anti-Israel, anti-Jew mobs to take over the streets of New York. He encourages that. For a man that is so concerned with keeping everybody safe, he encourages that. And Muhammad Cheryl is doing the same thing in New Jersey with these anti-ICE morons, these anti-America losing douchebags. Now she wants to shut down Delaney Hall. What's the latest with that, Noam?
Well, she's trying her best so this doesn't become another Minneapolis. So they had the state police.
She's trying her best.
Well, she doesn't want this to get out of control.
But her rhetoric is all hateful.
Yeah, well, there was some negotiations that went on over the weekend, so now some of these detainees will be able to get visitors. That was one of the issues. And they're trying to rein in the protests. So you had Newark Mayor Ross Baraka over the weekend put down a
That's
curfew.
your guy, right?
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, yeah.
Yeah.
So from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., you won't be able to protest. Now, there were protesters still there at 9 p.m. over the weekend. They brought in police with riot gear, others on horses, said, you got to get out of here. And there was one arrest. There were some rubber bullets that were fired over the weekend. But apparently, for the most part, this curfew worked. And so then at 6 a.m., those protesters can be back out there. But no doubt the governor's looking to see what happened in Minnesota and doesn't want the same thing happen in Newark, New Jersey.
Now, what else you got for me today?
Did you see this? This is out of the New York Post this morning. We were talking about Mayor Mamdani. Apparently, he wants to remove Ed Koch's name from the 59th Street Bridge.
No. That's, you see, he's number 2. I'm sorry, Mike Bloomberg. I know he was good after Rudy, but Rudy set the table for Mike. Rudy made it almost impossible for Mike not to succeed. And he was good until his third term. He became the emperor. But the 1-2 finish, the photo finish in this derby, Giuliani number 1 and Ed Koch number 2. Don't you dare touch Ed Koch's name in this city. You terrorist sympathizer. What is he, nuts?
Well, it was Mayor Bloomberg back in 2011 who got it through the city council, and they renamed, even though people still call it the 59th Street Bridge, it's the Ed Koch Bridge. And apparently you have the mayor. The mayor is upset about the way Koch handled the AIDS crisis in the 1980s, that he mishandled it and that more people died than should have.
How does he know?
Well, this is his claim.
He wasn't even here. He was in you.
He wasn't alive.
He wasn't even born yet.
He wasn't even alive.
Right.
Yeah.
He wasn't even in Uganda yet.
Yeah. So he's trying to get people behind him. This is, again, according to the New York Post, to rip Koch's name off the 59th Street Bridge.
Oh, my God. I mean, I couldn't hate this guy any more than I do. I don't know. You know what? Koch was Jewish, right?
Yeah, well, one of 2 mayors, the other one, Bloomberg. He was a World War II vet, Koch.
So you know that's why he wants to rip he found some cockamamie for cocked excuse about AIDS. But he doesn't want any bridges or tunnels in this city named after Jews. That's what that is. And I'll say it right to his face. That's another blatant anti-Semitic move by Mayor Mamdani. That Jew, Ed Koch, he was a gay Jew, too. Oh, my God. You know how those Muslims feel about gays and Jews.
Well, he wasn't out, by the way, but yeah.
He wasn't out?
No.
You don't remember Andrew Cuomo?
Yeah.
His slogan for his father?
Yeah, but Ed Koch
Vote
himself
for Cuomo, not the homo?
Never
Excuse
outed
me?
himself.
Who cares what he said?
Well, remember he hung out with Bess Meyerson and to make it look like
Michael Jackson hung out with Liz Taylor. Right? He actually even married Lisa Presley. You know what I mean? Now, he was gay and Jewish, and those are two things I'm sure that Mamdani doesn't. Although he hires gay people for his administration. As long as they hate people, it's fine. This guy's such a piece of garbage. You know what he did yesterday? Instead of going to the parade, it turns out Fox News just reported Mamdani went bike riding.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't that nice? I wish I had a twig to throw right in the street. I really do. Mamdani. Everybody asked me the same thing. Kilmeade asked me last night, is he as bad as you thought? And the unfortunate answer is so much worse. Not even worse. So much worse. Who's happy with him? I'm just curious. Taxpayers happy? Forget about the Jews. Let's put the Jews at the end of it, okay? Taxpayers happy? John Catsimatidis, you happy? If you say yes, you're not being honest. Ken Griffin, you happy? If you say yes, you're not being honest. Even Blakeman. No. He wants to ruin you guys. Instead of you guys being inspirations, which you are, he wants to ruin you. So that ain't working. Right? You feel safer? There's less and less cops in the city. Thank God Jessica Tisch does an amazing job. Or at least 7,000 cops too short. At least 7,000. And he hasn't even ripped down the SRG unit yet, which he's trying to do. So the anti-cop thing, that's fantastic. I'm trying to figure out what he's done. I actually read a lot of stuff and listen to a lot of people that tell me, this guy's doing great. He's doing great. What am I missing? No.
I don't know. Who are these people that are telling you that he's doing great? They telling it to your face that he's doing great?
Some of them do, yeah. Wow. Yeah. Was A. Beam Jewish?
Was Melissa Russo one of the people telling you that he's doing a great job?
She hasn't complained?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen Melissa Russo or Marsha Kramer, who did one piece, I think, that was semi-critical. I think Morgan McKay's a little, different on Fox. Was A. Beam Jewish?
I don't know.
I think
somebody
was.
Telling you that he was?
Yeah, I think Heshe Orgenbaum thinks. I don't know. I don't care. He was a terrible mayor, but he was Rudy Giuliani compared to Mamdani. Everybody is Rudy compared to Mamdani except for de Blasio. De Blasio was such a bad mayor that I can never attach a great mayor to his name. But he will go down being not as bad as Mamdani. You know that, right?
Who's that?
Bill de Blasio.
Yeah, well, he'll be like second to last. Yeah.
Second to last. Maybe right. A. Beam. I don't know. Yeah. Beam was really, really bad. Really bad.
According to Wikipedia, he was the first Jewish mayor of New York
City.
So
there you go.
Yeah.
So
you have three, I guess.
Yeah, Beam, Koch, and Bloomberg.
Yeah.
All right. We got a lot of great guests today, a lot of things to discuss. Bruce Blakeman is our first guest today. Once again, thank you to Bruce and Chris Boyle and Finton, all the great folks in Nassau County, Tom Sullivan. I marched with them yesterday, and Bruce was everywhere. Last night in New York, they had the RJC dinner. It was the first ever RJC dinner in New York. You remember, guys, I spoke at the one in Las Vegas back in October, and I tore the place down. I called Tucker Carlson a douchebag. And I said about Candace Owens, she is a person, it rhymes with the word punt. You remember that?
Of course.
They went nuts. They loved it. Matt Brooks loved it. So it turns out the RJC, which stands for Republican Jewish Coalition, has their first dinner in New York, and it's last night. It's a big weekend. You get the parade. You get the Jerusalem Post this year. And Bruce Blakeman spoke and a bunch of others. So they put out a flyer. You can't make this up. And my face is on the flyer. They're promoting Sid Rosenberg. Yet, not one person, not one from the RJC reached out to me to come, to speak, nothing. So I didn't go. And I think my cousin Norm Coleman was there because he's one of the machas. And I think my cousin Hanan Barbanel was there, married to the lovely Shannon. But I wasn't there. You can't put my face on a flyer and not reach out to me and ask me to speak. So that was a serious Ernest Biner fumble by the RJC. Also last night, and Bruce Blakeman spoke there, also last night was the Jerusalem Post gala dinner. I didn't go to that either. I was tired. After the parade, I was done. And I'm going to speak at the J-Post conference today anyway. But Bruce did speak. He had a long day yesterday. He's our first guest. Then we'll talk to Plaxico Burress' wife, Tiffany Burress, running for office, District 9 in New Jersey. I think Katz is stopping by. Kelly Loeffler. She's in charge of all the small businesses in the Trump administration. She was a superstar at Trump's cabinet meeting last week. She'll be back on the show. Congressman out of Florida, the great Randy Fine, live in studio.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
You know, if yesterday was the barometer, the way the people reacted when I walked down Fifth Avenue, I'd win. But, of course, it's not, because it's a much bigger city than just a bunch of Jews on Fifth Avenue. But, man, did they go nuts yesterday. And it's fun because Bruce Blakeman, the amazing Nassau County executive who's running for governor, who's also immensely popular. They love him. And he did a bunch of interviews and took a bunch of pictures before the parade started. And he and I walked together. He invited me. Thank you, Bruce. And I walked side by side with the soon-to-be governor. And he was just telling everybody with a camera or a phone, here's the next mayor of New York City. I said at one point in front of about 50 firemen, I think New York would be much better off with Blakeman and Rosenberg than Hochul and Mamdani, especially on a day like this. Well, I appreciated that. It's fun. A lot of folks out there are asking for it. I think at the end of the day, it won't happen. People like Jessica Tisch and maybe Julie Menon, those will be the folks that will be the serious candidates. But either way, maybe Eric Adams. I keep saying it all morning long. I think this guy's going to run again. He is more involved now, more busy now with this city than he was when he was mayor. Sorry, Frank, I'm being honest with you. So we'll see. At any rate, he is running for governor. He's now the two-time Nassau County executive. He's an amazing guy and one of my best buddies. Bruce Blakeman, he's our first guest, and he's coming up next.
This is Sid on Sports. Oh, my goodness! Sponsored by Peerless Boilers on 77 WABC.
Justin Ellick here with your sports update, sponsored by Pete Morgan and Peerless Boilers. Go to peerlessboilers.com to find a deal near you. Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers. Saturday night saw the Spurs beat the Thunder 111-103 Western Conference Finals, Game 7 there. So they will meet our New York Knicks in the NBA Finals starting this Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. out in San Antonio. The Spurs have home court advantage, so the first two contests will be out there.
I got a story about that.
Okay, go for it.
Keith Kantrowitz. I got a call yesterday. And he says, what are you doing Wednesday night? I said, he's kidding. He said, I've got a private plane, my buddy Al, okay, and on the plane is going to be Spike Lee, Ben Stiller.
Wow.
Be about 12 or 13 people. And if you can go, I want to take you to San Antonio for Game 1. I said, are you serious? I said, logistically, I don't know how I'm going to do that. He goes, well, if you have to, I can take you right home that night. Don't forget, it's a 4.5-hour trip to Texas.
Right.
So I'd be arriving just in time to come into the studios and do the show if I did the show on Thursday. But Keith said, I'm going to take you. Private plane, all these celebrities that hate me. Go to San Antonio, Game 1. We have not talked since yesterday morning. That was the latest conversation. And, of course, the last time the Knicks went to the NBA Finals in 1999, it was also the Knicks and Spurs.
Yes, indeed. Well, I don't know how you say no to that offer. But
well, he hasn't come back and given me the official confirmation yet, but as of yesterday morning, I was on a private plane on the way to San Antonio.
How about that with Ben Stiller and Spike Lee?
I'm a big-time guy. There you go, Louis. I'm a big-time guy.
Out in Queens, Juan Soto hit a grand slam. Carson Bench launched his first leadoff homer, and the Mets routed the Marlins 10-1, finished a 3-game sweep. With the sweep, they inch past the Marlins into fourth place in the NL East. Up next for Austin Warren will open a bullpen game tonight with New York beginning a 6-game West Coast trip against the Mariners. First pitch from Seattle is at 9:40. And in Sacramento, Ben Rice had 2 extra base hits and 4 RBI in a 13-run third inning. And the Yankees, they beat up on the Athletics 13-8. They win 2 games of 3 over the weekend out in Sacramento. Up next for an off day today before returning home to welcome in the Cleveland Guardians tomorrow for the opener of a 3-game series. That's your sports, sponsored by Pete Morgan and Peerless Boilers. Go to peerlessboilers.com to find a deal near you. Peerless Boilers, the world's best built boilers. I'm Justin Ellick on 77 WABC.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
They loved him at the Israel Day Parade yesterday. Man, am I proud to call this guy a brother. Bruce Blakeman. Bruce, good Monday morning, buddy. You got to be tired. That was a long day yesterday.
Good
Good morning, Mayor. No, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong, ready to get back to work.
I can tell, man. You went. Thank you for the mayor comment. I love that. People go, you do that, they go nuts. But you did have a long day. You had the parade yesterday, and then I believe you went to some synagogue, and then I know you spoke last night for Matt Brooks and my cousin Norm Coleman at the RJC. So what time did this day eventually end yesterday?
We finished, let's see, probably got to bed last night about 11:30. That's an early night. So then up early this morning, checking my emails, my text messages, and getting ready for a fun interview with my favorite guy, Sid Rosenberg.
Thank you. What is
Sid,
yeah.
By the way, Sid, listen. I think that you and Spike Lee on a private plane together might be more entertaining than the Knick game.
I know. People have already said to Keith, if this happens, you got to make sure you take video. Ben Stiller is not exactly a big fan of mine either, just so you know, Bruce. So between me, Spike, and Ben, that can make us a very entertaining 4 hours coming up on Wednesday.
You get somebody to videotape it.
I know. You know, all I kept thinking, I promise. All I kept thinking, too, that's funny, yesterday was, here's Bruce Blakeman. Now, you don't got to be Jewish, okay? There are plenty of non-Jews. Christians, as you know, Bruce, who love the Jewish people, who love the state of Israel. And I say this all the time. If we're ever going to win the anti-Semitism war, and we're nowhere close to winning it in New York because we've got a terrorist sympathizer as the mayor, we're not coming close in New York. But if we're going to win it, we need the help of the Christian people. So this is not about just being Jewish. But when I look at you, a Jewish man, not afraid to wear a yarmulke in the street, standing outside of Columbia University with me when Eric Adams went to Rome. And then I look at Kathy Hochul, and I'm trying to figure out one thing she's done, not even providing a buffer zone, one thing she's done to protect Jewish people. And she's walking up and down Fifth Avenue, thumb up and smiling and getting cheers from the crowd. You tell me, what has Kathy Hochul done? Forget about Mamdani. What has the governor done in this state to make lives better and safer for the Jewish people that she deserved to be celebrated or celebrating yesterday?
Well, the answer is nothing. She basically stabbed him in the back by endorsing Mamdani, and then Mamdani endorsed her. So, they've got a private little deal going between the two of them. But, the interesting thing, Sid, is wherever I go in New York State, people are miserable under Kathy Hochul. They could be Jewish, they could be Christian, male, female, every race, religion, ethnic group, every lifestyle, every person of whatever ability they may have. They are miserable under Kathy Hochul because we are the most overtaxed state in the United States. Our utility bills are 70% higher than the national average. That's obscene. And she hasn't done anything to help anybody in any corner of the state because she doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't have any core values. And now she's allied with somebody who is an anti-Semite, somebody who has anti-American values, somebody who basically espouses communist principles that are antithetical to everything that we were taught growing up that made America the greatest economic power in the history of the world. So I just can't understand anybody that would support her. But I can tell you right now, people are miserable under Kathy Hochul, and I feel very, very confident we are going to win this race because we have solutions to people's everyday problems. They want it more affordable, and they want it more safe in their communities.
I saw yesterday, every time they interviewed you, there was like 7 or 8 people with these Hochul signs, making sure they got in the view of the camera or the photo. I think Danielle was the first one to say it. This is how sick Kathy Hochul is. Think about this, Bruce, okay? She wants to take the masks off of ICE agents when we know already that ICE agents have been killed. Forget about Preddy and Good in Minnesota. They've killed ICE agents in states around the country. Others have been stalked. So she wants to take the masks off of law enforcement ICE agents, but she has no issue leaving the masks on the pro-Hamas radical Islam animals that terrorize innocent Jewish people every day. Now, you guys, you and Mazi Phillip in Nassau County, you got the masks taken off. So leave the masks on pro-Hamas, take them off ICE. Isn't that all you need to know?
She is the most pro-criminal governor in the United States of America. Every criminal justice law that's passed is pro-criminal, anti-victim, anti-safe neighborhoods. Kathy Hochul would raise the age, cashless bail, the HOLT Act, and now with the masks, and now wanting to kick ICE out of our state. She is creating an atmosphere where criminals are running rampant. It's a revolving door of justice. Police officers are getting frustrated because they're locking up people over and over again, and there's no consequences for these criminals. It's getting out of control, and you're absolutely right. She is so hypocritical. She will allow somebody to wear a mask, go into a bank and rob it, but she won't let an ICE agent who needs to be undercover, who is involved in sensitive work. And by the way, it's not just ICE agents. It's undercover narcotics detectives. It's anti-terrorism units. They need to wear masks. So she is so pro-criminal and so anti-law enforcement that's one of the reasons why I know I'm going to win, because people have common sense and they know that she will not keep them safer, but I will keep your children and your grandchildren safe.
Bottom line is, Bruce Blakeman, you're going to keep, like you just said, your children and your grandchildren safe. You're going to make sure that they don't raise taxes in this state. She says they're not going to. She's a liar. If she wins, God forbid, she's not going to, but if she wins, God forbid, she will do whatever Mamdani wants. She's a dog on a leash. Basically, Mamdani has her like a dog on a leash. And then, of course, she doesn't care about these law enforcement. And then, maybe as brutal as all of it, is green energy. We are loaded with it in the state of New York. Now, this was her predecessor, Andrew Cuomo, also yucking it up with the crowd yesterday. And I got to know Andrew quite a bit when he ran. He was on this show, and we had many lunches together. He's a charming guy. When you meet him, he's a very nice guy. He's a charming guy. But the truth is, he destroyed this state. He destroyed it with, 7 or 8 different policies that she's held on to, this Kathy Hochul. Like Donald Trump says all the time, Bruce Blakeman, enough with the windmills and all that nonsense. Drill, baby, drill. When Bruce Blakeman becomes governor in New York, that saying right there, drill, baby, drill, that's going to happen, yes?
Absolutely. It's bizarre that we sit on one of the largest natural gas reserves in the world. It's on the border of Pennsylvania. They share that reserve with us. We are buying our gas from Pennsylvania. I mean... It's not just a question of being pro-green energy. This is insane. She is allowing New York to buy gas from Pennsylvania, but not allowing people in New York to drill in the same natural gas reserve, which would create prosperity in our state, which would increase supply, which would bring down prices. It's just so wrong-headed that I will change that. We will drill, baby, drill. We will bring prosperity to our state. We will bring down utility bills. We will make it more affordable so people can actually live here. They will get better jobs. They will get higher paying jobs and better benefits. And you could say whatever you want about Andrew Cuomo, but Andrew Cuomo never would have tolerated Zohran Mamdani, and Andrew Cuomo wouldn't have let Zohran Mamdani lead him around, like you said, on a leash.
No, that I agree with. No, he would not. No, she's she's a cuckold at this point. I do have one about Nassau County, though, because you're doing a great job running that county as well. And there was a story last week, and I see this in New Jersey quite a bit, especially this time of year, Memorial Day weekend. For some reason, they go berserk in all these, Long Branch and all these beach towns. And it looked like Bayville had a huge issue last week. What's the deal with these wilding kids in Bayville?
Yes, so now with social media and the internet, these guys who want to create all of these problems in various communities, they get a hold of a lot of rabble-rousers on the internet, and they say, let's go meet at this place, and let's go crazy. And the good news is that our police department monitors the internet. We monitor all of the social media, and we either stop it before it happens or we stop it very quickly. So it goes on throughout the United States, but we don't tolerate it in Nassau County. They also do it with cars. They'll have like car rallies where they want to race through a community.
Yeah.
We find out about it. We have the police there. We impound their cars. We just take their cars.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that happened in Queens and Paladino's district a couple of weeks ago. But I know with Pat Ryder in charge. Hey, last thing, and then we'll let you run. You got a busy day ahead of you. I did see Mike LePetri at the parade yesterday and at the Trump rally last week. He's running against Tom Suozzi again. And Janine Driscoll's been in these studios now, and she was at the Trump rally last week. Are you actively campaigning for some of those candidates, Bruce, on Long Island?
Well, absolutely. We need Janine Driscoll. We need Mike LePetri. They're stand-up people. They have outstanding records. They stand for American values. They want to make it more affordable to live in New York State. They are people that we can rely upon because they have values and principles that we share, American values. So I'm very bullish on Mike LePetri and Janine Driscoll. Think they'll be great members of Congress, and I campaign with them, and I support them. I endorse them, and I think they're going to win.
Last one, Bruce. If Kathy Hochul is listening right now, I loved it when President Trump addressed her on stage in Lawler's district in Rockland a couple of weeks ago. He said, watch out, Kathy. What's your message to the governor listening to us early Monday morning, new week, right here in New York City?
Kathy, do you mind if I have somebody come into the executive mansion and measure the drapes?
I love it. I love it, Bruce. That's what's going to happen, folks. He's going to be the next governor here in New York. He's a wonderful guy, great politician, even a better guy, currently the Nassau County executive, but again, the next governor of New York State, my dear friend Bruce Blakeman. Bruce, I love you. And also, please thank Chris Boyle and Finton McCormack and Tom Sullivan and all your wonderful people on Nassau County who really took very good care of me and Danielle and Ava yesterday. Thank you so much.
God bless you. Thank you, my brother, and have a great day.
You too. There he is. Bruce Blakeman back on Sid and Friends in the morning. Man, I want him to win.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I'm doing something else for Mike Lawler this Saturday night, the annual Rockaway, excuse me, that's how we live, Lewis. The Rockland Republican Club. They put on a big dinner every year, and usually I go and I speak, and I'm doing it again this year, Danielle and I. So we'll see Lawler coming up on Saturday. I did text President Trump over the weekend and asked him flat out what he thinks about me potentially running for mayor. Well, I know if I do, of course, it doesn't matter who else is running. I will get all the endorsements and all the money, all of it. So I asked him what he thought, and if he liked the idea. Of course, I would need his blessing. He hasn't gone back to me yet. I guess there's a war going on. There's a lot going on, Noam, so he hasn't gone back to me yet.
How many hours has it been?
It's a full day now.
That's actually.
But that happens. Listen, I text him for every 5 texts that I sent to President Trump, I get one back. It's like 5 to 1, which is really good because I know people that text him all the time, including his own kid, Eric. He never gets a text back, ever. So my percentage is actually pretty high, believe it or not.
Well, maybe he's just thinking about it. That's all, and he's going to get back to
you.
He
might just be, sure. Yeah, I doubt it, but...
Or he's just ignoring
but yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or he's just ignoring it. I keep going back to this Jackson Dart thing. I'm going to talk to Tiffany Burress. She's coming up next. She's Plaxico Burress's wife. And I was at that rally when Jackson Dart introduced President Trump. And the first thing, or the second thing, Brian Kilmeade asked me last night on his very popular One Nation show on Fox News, 10 p.m. every Sunday night, is, as you were sitting there, did you know it would be an S show for Dart? And I said, I knew it. I didn't know Abdul Carter is the biggest jerk-off on the Giants, but he is. Abdul, you're a jerk-off. Make a play. Don't worry about who likes who. I don't even know who Abdul Carter voted for. My gut tells me it was that giggling moron Kamala Harris. But either way, it's nobody's business. Nobody cared when Lawrence Taylor, my favorite football player ever, introduced Trump, and nobody cared when LeBron James introduced Hillary Clinton. So, Abdul, shut your face. All these guys. I heard Kiwanuka was crying. What a pussy. How about just go sack the opposing quarterback and shut up? Try to win a Super Bowl. How about that? But no, the white quarterback from Ole Miss. So I wonder if Tiffany Burress even cares about that. I think Plaxico likes Trump. But I don't want to say that just in case it's not true and hurt her chances of winning. But I guess I just did, didn't I, know?
Maybe a little, yeah.
Yeah, well, Plax is no dummy. So we'll take a break. We got a lot of great guests stopping by today. Catsimatidis, Kelly Loeffler. She's in charge of President Trump's Small Business Administration. She's a big deal. Had a big cabinet meeting last week. Randy Fine, the amazing congressman out of Florida, another Trump favorite. All those folks are stopping by. We're going to see Emily Austin live in studio. Israel Ganz, the governor of the Binyamin region in Judea and Samaria, live in studio too. But coming up next, once again, the wife of New York football giant hero Plaxico Burress, running in District 9 tomorrow in New Jersey. Tiffany Burress makes her debut on Sid and Friends in the Morning. She's next.
Sid and Friends in the Morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The ball inside the 14. 39 seconds left. Lobs it. Burress alone. Touchdown, New York. Tell you, Joe, you take a look at this route here by Plaxico Burress. A great job. Ellis Hobbs in coverage. He starts to the inside just enough to sell the slant, and then he goes to the corner. They call that the slant and go route, sluggo route, and it worked beautifully.
Touchdown catch, 14-10 Giants win. Plaxico spent 4 big years with the Giants, also spent 1 year with the Jets, and I guess it was 2011, so that was like 15 years ago, and the Burress family never left. Because his lovely wife, Tiffany, is now running for Congress, District 9, New Jersey. Her primary is tomorrow. Making her debut on Sid and Friends in the Morning, Tiffany Burress. Tiffany, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you, Sid and Friends, for having me on. I'm excited. Yeah, thank you.
We're excited to have you. When you hear that highlight, I want to make it about Plaxico. This is about you. But when you hear that highlight, does that bring back some great memories? I imagine you were sitting in the stands that night. Take us back to that touchdown catch when the Giants won that Super Bowl.
Oh man, as I was listening to that, I was just sitting here and smiling because that was definitely, absolutely one of the greatest, happiest moments of all time. It was absolutely amazing, and I tell everybody to this day that was the best Super Bowl I've ever seen.
It really was. It was, and Eli had that crazy play where he threw the ball up and David Tyree caught it. And it was a lot of things had to happen for the Giants to win before your husband caught the game-winning touchdown. So I guess, Tiff, again, he spent 4 years with the Giants, 1 year with the Jets, but he went back to Pittsburgh. You guys did in 2012, but it looks like you never left New Jersey. You must really like it here.
Oh, we absolutely love it here. That's why we're still here, and we both want to sit up and make sure, the District 9 is more affordable and better for everybody. We love it here. We want people to stay and not leave.
Yeah, Plaxico did some work with my dear friend Craig Carton on Fox Sports 1 a year or two ago. He was terrific, and I've met your husband many times. He's a terrific guy. But in your case, now Tiffany, the District 9, if I'm right, yes, if I'm wrong, correct me, is that Patterson, Passaic, parts of Bergen County? What area is that exactly?
Yes, the District 9 is Passaic County, which does include Patterson, Clifton, it's South Bergen, and then a little bit of Hudson County, which is Kearney and Secaucus.
Okay, so that's a pretty large area, some very, very big cities. And correct me if I'm wrong, but tomorrow it is not a two-man, but a two-lady primary. You'll be taking on Rosemary Pino, is that right?
Yes, tomorrow I'll be taking on Rosemary Pino, and I hope everybody comes out to vote. And our District 9 deserves better. It deserves better. It deserves somebody that's not going to vote for sanctuary. She voted for it to be a sanctuary city. She voted to raise the taxes. Same with the current Congresswoman Nellie Poe. She also wants sanctuary cities, and she voted to raise the taxes. District 9 deserves better. They deserve better. They deserve someone that's actually going to help make it more affordable to the people and fight for the people.
Nellie Poe is running again, though, right? On the Democrat side.
She's running again. Yes, she is.
Okay, so you're a Republican. Are you a Trump Republican, MAGA Republican, just a Republican, moderate? How would you describe yourself?
I'm a true Republican. I'm a conservative, and I have the true Republican values. Unlike my opponent, Rosie Pino, I believe in securing the border, funding our police. I'm just a true conservative Republican.
So are you a Trump fan or, whatever, just a Republican?
Oh, yes. I mean, Trump, he campaigned on making it more affordable and helping the working class. And me as an attorney, I've been sitting, my main thing as an attorney, I'm a workers' compensation attorney. So I've been fighting for the working class in the district for approximately 20 years now as attorney. And the president and I, we have the same mission, and I love that.
Love that, too. Tiffany Burress right here running in District 9, New Jersey tomorrow. Get your asses out and vote for this lady, please. And, some of those areas that your constituents will end up being in, Tiff, this is not all Upper Saddle River, if you know what I'm saying. Some parts, Patterson especially, is still kind of rough. So there's a lot of folks in those neighborhoods. If I'm wrong, correct me, because I live in New York. Maybe I'm wrong. But I go to New Jersey enough to know that some of those neighborhoods, they really need your help. They need Congress people's help. Is that fair to say?
Yes, it's very fair to say. I know that the Nellie Poe, she voted against funding for the district, and those areas really extremely need funding. So they definitely need my help. They definitely need somebody that's going to try to make it more affordable. They definitely need somebody that's going to help it be secure. We need to make sure, our border is secure. We need to, again, support our police and fund our police. But we need funding for the district. You name it, and I'm there, and I'm going to make it better.
What about education? I know your husband went to Michigan State. I don't know exactly where you went to college, but I'm sure you got smart kids. I got to imagine some of those areas, again, not getting the best when it comes to the education dollar. How much of that is an issue in District 9?
It's a big issue. I currently serve on a board of a charter school, and I get to see firsthand what happens when teachers and parents are empowered to innovate. Every child deserves a high quality education, no matter the zip code. So those ones that are in certain zip codes that aren't getting it, I definitely priority would be to make sure that they can get a high quality education.
I'm curious what motivates you. I've been talking about the possibility of running for mayor. Really, I have not been. Actually, let me correct that. Everybody else is. I mean, every politician. I just had Bruce Blakeman on. He's running for governor. He calls me Mr. Mayor. And I know what happened with me. What happened with me was, look, I've got a great job. I make a nice living, and I'm famous. I got all those things. But I watched Mamdani win, and I'm watching him destroy my city. And as bad as Bill de Blasio was, this guy is exponentially worse. And I know if I ever really, really did it, I'd be great. Because like you, Tiffany, I've got the same conservative values. I am MAGA. I am President Trump's kind of right-hand guy. So that's what did it for me, watching Mamdani. How does Tiffany Burress, the wife of a famous professional athlete, mom, all those things, wake up in New Jersey morning one day and say, I want to do this? What happened?
Hey, you know what? I come from a family that understands the value of a dollar. My dad worked in a steel mill. My mom taught in a public school district. They both showed me what hard work looks like, but they also taught me something just as important, and that's to give back, to serve your neighbors, to help fight for those who can't fight for themselves. And seeing currently what's going on with our district, with Nellie Poe not fighting for the district, I look at it and I'm like, they deserve better. And then to also seeing the other person, Rosie Pino, that my opponent that I'm going up against, and her to have the same values as Nellie Poe. And I didn't even mention this earlier, but as a Republican, she endorsed Nellie Poe in 2024.
What?
So, yes, she endorsed her, and she also went on her page, and she on her Facebook page, and she told people to vote for Kamala.
No, she didn't.
I mean,
no.
These are the options that you have for the district.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Rosie Pino, God bless her, she's a loser. I mean, I'm going to say it. Loser. You can't be endorsing giggling Kamala, or, she probably also likes Mikey Muhammad Cheryl. I don't know, but clearly.
Probably. And left it on her Facebook page so everybody could see it. It's like, hey, I endorse Nellie Poe, and hey, and she encouraged voters to vote for Kamala. And, our district, they deserve people that are actually going to be there for them. They don't deserve a rhino. And right now, that's the other option. And I set up, and with my values and where I came from, I wanted the district deserves better. People are moving out because it's unaffordable. I support what the Trump administration has done with affordability, no tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security, and just doing my taxes with the SALT deduction. But there's more work that needs to be done. We need to make sure that stays in place, but then we need to expand. I want to expand on it. And I feel, so that made me step up. It made me step up, caring and have a big heart and wanting better.
Oh, that's awesome. Any early returns, hearing anything that leads you to believe that you're going to beat Pino the Rhino? I know it's pronounced Pino, but I kind of like Pino the Rhino. Any early returns that have you very confident about tomorrow morning?
I am confident. I've been on the ground. I started, as soon as possible. I've been doing a ton of door knocking, going to different events, and I can say that being out there, I've received a lot of positive feedback.
I love it. All right, Tiffany, we're endorsing you big time, big time. I got a big audience in Jersey. By the way, I destroy 101.5 New Jersey. I destroy those guys. So we want everybody in District 9 tomorrow to vote for Tiffany Burress. Clearly, she is the only and right Republican candidate. You sound great. I think you're going to be great. So good luck tomorrow. And after you win, we'll bring you back so you can win the general election. How does that sound?
Oh, that sounds great. And thank you again for having me on. I really appreciate it. And anybody, if you want to go to my website, go to tiffanyburress.com. And don't forget to vote tomorrow.
All right, tiffanyburress.com. Don't forget to vote tomorrow. Please give my regards to your husband, Plaxico. Tiffany, you're terrific. You're great. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you again for having me on.
God bless you. Tiffany Burress right there, running in District 9 in New Jersey tomorrow, folks. Make sure you go out and vote.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
John Catsimatidis is Mr. Red Apple Media. As I mentioned earlier, two great shows, Katz and Cosby, 5 p.m. every weekday afternoon. Katz Round Table, 8 a.m. every Sunday morning. Yesterday, the Israel Day Parade. You know the controversy. Melissa Russo tried to get to you. She got to me. I think I kind of fixed that. At any rate, the mayor did not show up yesterday, and a lot of people were upset. A lot of people like me were not really upset. We don't want him there. But the truth is, he couldn't make a real, legitimate argument why he was not there. This parade, John, was not in Jerusalem. It was not headed by Bibi Netanyahu. It was in New York City. A lot of the dopes that voted for this guy actually marched yesterday. So he really had no excuse. So what are your thoughts on Mayor Mamdani skipping the parade?
I'm disappointed because the purpose of a mayor and the job of the mayor is putting our city together, not ripping it apart. Regardless, you gotta, it's really, really disappointing. I saw Mayor Bloomberg was there. I saw Mayor Adams was there. I don't know. Was de Blasio there? I haven't seen.
I did not see him. No,
I didn't see him.
He was not there.
And,
those two, right? Bloomberg and Adams, yes.
Yeah, and look, the city needs to be put together. And the same thing with the governor's office. The governor's office has to be for all the people. And the mayor's office has to be for all the people. And let me tell you something. I think Governor Hochul is going to be suffering because Bruce Blakeman, I think if he goes out there and says, I'm for all the people, all the people, and goes to all 51 counties in our state?
Yeah.
And tells that all the people count. All the people in the city count. All the people in Nassau, Suffolk count. All the people in Westchester count. Rockland County. And I believe in putting people together. And anybody that doesn't do that, we're looking. It doesn't look good. Look at Jamie Dimon. He was on Maria Bartiramo's. They broadcasted from California last week. Larry Kudlow was there last week. I was supposed to go with Larry, but I was too busy here in New York.
Yeah.
And the fact is, what the pulse of the situation is, limiting our exposure to New York. What does that mean? That means no matter what anybody says, no matter what you hear, we love New York. We want to be here in New York, but You're not going to put how do you say it, all the eggs in one basket?
No, you're not going to.
And, whether it's our company, Red Apple Group, or Red Apple Real Estate, we're going to limit our exposure to New York.
Oh, you are?
Well, yes, why not?
So you're making the statement right now, without being specific about what you're pulling out and what you're keeping, you are going to limit. You're going to take some of your business activity out of New York.
Absolutely, especially the real estate company.
Wow.
I mean, why do you want to create your own banana peel? Let's say the real estate company over the next 2-3 years is going to spend another $2-3 billion in building. Why do it? Why spend that $2 or $3 billion in New York? Look
nuts.
at Ken Griffin. I'm not sure he's going to spend that money in New York.
He's not going to.
And I'm not sure Jamie Dimon is going to spend that much more money in New York.
He's not going to.
So what does that mean? At the end of the day, who does it hurt? It hurts the cab drivers. It hurts the Uber drivers. It hurts the construction workers. It hurts the blue collar workers. I mean, look, if I spend more time in Florida or New Jersey or whatever, don't forget, we're expanding our WABC offices in New Jersey right now. We're in the middle of doing that. We're going to be opening up a sales office in New Jersey. We're going to be opening up, additional things. So we're going to have presence in New Jersey. We're going to have presence in Florida. So, but I still love New York. I still love the restaurants in New York. I still love the people in New York. But you don't put all your eggs in one basket. And if Bruce Blakeman runs a good campaign, you never know what could happen.
No, he can win.
And I think he could win.
He was on with me. I know you heard it an hour ago. He's on with me quite a bit. We see each other quite a bit. We marched together at yesterday's Israel Day Parade.
Yes.
He's going to win.
I'm going to give you one example.
Yeah.
And, I tell all New Yorkers, all Americans to look at it. And I know, look, President Trump, and he has picked a great team. I would say 95% of his team is great. Listen, batting 1,000 is hard.
Yeah.
Okay? 95% of his team is great.
I agree.
But that's what we need in New York State. Governor Pataki did that. 95% of his team was great. What New York State needs is a couple of business leaders to do the right thing for New York. I'm going to give you one example. You ready for this? It came up over the weekend. I talked to Dr. Oz about it. I talked to a few other people about it.
Have you talked to Kelly Loeffler about it? She's going to join me in about 18 minutes.
Kelly is a terrific lady. Yeah. You know why? I'll do a sidestep meanwhile. The sidestep is if President Trump is bringing in trillions of dollars in business. I'll give you an example. Toyota builds $1 billion factory or something. $1 billion factory. You know what Kelly Loeffler does? And and she'll verify that when she's on with you. All the small businesses around that $1 billion factory, they need support services. They need hardware stores. They need this. They need that. They need that. They need coffee shops. They need diners. They need, and that's what Kelly Loeffler does. So you take $1 billion company, whether it's a pharmaceutical company or whether it's an automobile factory,
right.
you
build around it.
Yes,
right.
you got value
This
added.
is exactly why Jimmy von Bramen and AOC are morons, because when they nixed the Amazon deal in Queens, they ruined all the small businesses.
Stupid. They're stupid and stupid. Because the fact is, she didn't even know what she was talking about. I'll do another sidebar. AOC says, we're going to take that $4 billion we're going to give it to Amazon and spend it someplace else. There is no $4 billion. All you're doing, if Amazon was going to spend $33 billion after they spent the $33 billion, 10 years later, they're going to give them back $4 billion in rebates. How much money have you collected in payroll tax in those 10 years? $1 zillion.
Zillion.
So
right.
you give back a small percentage of the $1 zillion, and you give incentives to work.
I love that.
I don't want to forget this one. Ready for this one?
Yes.
Okay. Florida has 24 million people. New York has 19.5.
Right. We used to have more than them. You know that.
Absolutely. It used to be double.
Right.
It used to be the other way around. Medicaid fraud. Ready for this one? Florida, with all the old age people and all the other people, they spend $33 billion on Medicaid. How much the new budget is going to spend on Medicaid in New York State?
Double it.
I wouldn't feel so bad if it was double. $125 billion. Wow. Where is the fraud? Where is the common sense?
Well, that's what Dr. Oz is doing.
But where is the common sense?
Well,
they're
robbing
common sense.
us. They're robbing us. There's no common sense.
They're robbing every taxpayer.
Right.
And unless we straighten it out, it's going to, people are just going to say.
Here's how you straighten it out.
F it.
I know that
how do you say F it?
You say F it. Now, I know that you visited Mamdani in City Hall, about 2 months ago?
I visited
about 2 months
him.
ago?
I visited his deputy mayor.
I know,
Look,
but have you
I offered him services. I offer, my total cost for services was, I said a cup of coffee. That's all
That was it, right. But
and look, I'm still willing to help because I want to help New York.
Did you tell
I'm not looking to destroy New York. I'm looking to help New York.
But did you tell him what you told me this morning?
Yes, absolutely.
You have told him recently that you're looking to take some of your businesses out of here.
I mean, I'm sure he heard it because I've said it on Fox. I've said it on all over the place.
And he didn't reach out to you?
Look, I want to help New York. If look, he's a smart guy. Instead of playing the violin, he's playing the violin. You know what some of these press conferences they do? They put somebody in the lead, and they put 20, 30 people behind them, and all the New York 1, Channel 4, Channel 2, they broadcast it as if there's everybody's hooray.
I know.
Hooray. It's all acting.
It's all it is.
It's all acting.
Of
Now
course.
I got another one for you.
Yeah.
And I checked it out. And our
you have good
law
sources.
enforcement, our sources, our law enforcement in New Jersey. All these people picketing Newark.
Delaney Hall.
Of all the people they arrested, only one was from New Jersey.
That was it. The rest were paid. The rest were paid.
I want every American to hear what I said. Only one was from New York. All the rest of them are from Timbuktu. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. I give you a certification that, somebody's paying them. So I think the FBI is getting better and better and better. Somebody has to come down on them and find out who is paying that. And who is paying that to create this thing? Don't forget when they picketed my home.
Yes.
How did Marco Corleone said it in the movie? My home.
My home.
You came to my home.
My children. By the way, I stood right by you out there. You know that.
Yeah. And you right next to me.
Right next to you.
Right next to me.
I was ready to punch one of those guys.
What did I say?
You were very nice.
I said, where are you from?
Yeah.
He says, Long Island.
Yeah.
And where are you from? Yeah. New Jersey.
True.
And where are you from? There's nobody there from New York City.
No, about 25 people, and you're right, the majority are not even from New York City. And they were complaining about you.
We went nose to nose with them.
Yeah.
Nose to nose. And, I took the one guy's hand. I said, I want to make sure the facial recognition cameras got the picture of you. And they did. By the way, New Jersey, all the people, my information says that all the facial recognition has been hit, and over the next 10 days, there's going to be some enforcement.
There is?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because New Jersey's a bit of a mess, too.
How did Clint Eastwood say it?
Make my day. Little dirty
and
Harry
Chicago,
for you.
Good place to leave right now. I mean, this guy, Elliot, this guy,
J.B. Pritzker?
Yeah. The family paid him extra money not to be in the office.
Oh, yeah. And
he's destroying Illinois.
All of it. And the mayor, Brandon Johnson.
And tomorrow you got California elections.
What do you think about that? Are you paying close attention to Spencer Pratt and Steve Hilton?
Why argue between me and you today? And we'll know tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's time for Californians to say some common sense and make sure only Americans vote. Because, you know why? The migrants that just move in, if they're voting, they're just getting everything for nothing. Why not?
Right.
And don't forget the difference between immigrants and migrants. Immigrants came here and they worked 80 hours a week. And my grandfather's 80 hours a week. I still only work 77. Trump is going to be 80 this month.
I know.
So
June 14th.
He outworks me. I mean, I've been trying to catch up with him for 40 years.
Yeah, it's close.
But he outworks all of us.
Yeah.
And he does a great job. And his health. My God, you just hear that medical report?
He's like a 40-year-old.
I mean, his blood pressure, 105? My God. I mean, his medical report, and God bless him.
God bless him is right.
I try to catch up with him, but never. I'm going at warp 2. He's going at warp 12.
No, you're great, but he is the most amazing human being ever. And
listen, our worldwide network.
Yes.
We launched it last week. We're getting some kinks out of it, but President Trump has given us permission to go to Europe and to do Europe. And we're going to have WABC in Europe, worldwide network, all over the country.
And is President
Trump...
Trump...
we're replacing CBS.
I know that we are. And is President Trump... good job here by Lee Harris. Is President Trump also still going to help us with keeping AM radio alive and well? We had the discussion last time.
He has said that to me. And he called me last Monday just before he was going on with Lee Zeldin on the refrigerants in New York.
Yes,
because they're trying to kill all the supermarkets, all the refrigeration companies, all the restaurants, which is refrigerants.
Right.
And he called me up and says, John, I'm we're going to take care of this for you. Lee Zeldin is sitting next to me, and then on the other side of him was his new who replaced Larry Kudlow?
Jack, the Fed guy?
Hesed.
Oh, Scott Bessent.
No, Hesed.
Oh, Hesed. Okay.
Yeah. And he called me the other day. He says, President Trump says you got a mission on the AM radio. We're going to deliver.
Wow, he called you.
Yes.
That's great.
So let's see what happens.
All right. A lot of things to be
let's see what happens. Look, we want what's right for America. We want what's right for every American citizen.
Absolutely.
We want what's right for our immigrants that want to work 80 hours a week. The migrants that come here and try to change our way of life, go change somebody else's way of life.
Someplace else.
Go someplace else if you don't like it.
Yeah.
But don't come here trying to change our way of life.
A lot of spice this morning, John. A lot of spice. Those Hamptons weekends are good to you, aren't they? You come in, you got some color, you're ready to go.
Relax for one day.
Yeah, you feel great. You get full of piss and vigor. Look at you.
Yeah,
God bless
you. We had a big breakfast on Saturday morning.
Who spoke
do
this
every week?
Yeah, who spoke?
Oh, we had the supervisor of the Southampton, which is 70,000 people.
Okay.
And we had the police commissioner of the Hamptons of Southampton, and look, by the way, both women.
Both women.
Tough women.
Yeah. Well, look at Jessica Tish.
Listen.
They don't come much tougher than her.
Jessica Tish, she's a great lady.
Great. I met her mother yesterday, the great Meryl Tish.
If she runs, I know the mother a long time.
Great lady.
If Jessica Tish wants to run, you know one thing about Jessica Tish.
For mayor? She'll
Honesty and integrity.
No, she'll win.
Honesty and integrity.
I agree with you.
So it is what it is. That's all we want. We want good business decisions. And these stupid windmills.
Oh, please.
We got taken to the cleaners.
I know.
By the way,
I brought that up with Bruce this morning. Drill, baby, drill. I brought it up this morning.
That report came out.
Yep.
The windmills are killing us. They're going to double and triple the price of electricity.
That's what Hochul wants.
But just to get a campaign contribution for a lousy campaign contribution,
right.
You sell the rest of us down the river.
Yes.
I mean, it's
that's Kathy Hochul. That's why you got to vote for Bruce.
Crazy.
I agree. I love it. That's a great job.
Keep fighting.
You too. That's a great job. John Catsimatidis on fire on this Monday morning. Of course, host of Cats and Cosby, 5 p.m. every weekday afternoon, and that great show, The Cats Roundtable, 8 a.m. every Sunday morning on fire. My man, John Catsimatidis. We'll take a short break. Kelly Loeffler, just mentioned her, the head of President Trump's Small Business Administration. She'll be here.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The annual New York Jerusalem Post Conference. It's the first time I'll be speaking. And I believe I've got Shabbos, Kestenbaum, and Liz Pipko on my panel. But nevertheless, it's walking distance, which is really good. But I'm waiting all day, got to be honest, guys, to hear from Keith Kantrowitz. I'm not even sure I can go. Odds are Danielle's going to say you can't go. But when he called me yesterday and said, hey, you want to go to the Knick game? And I'm like, yeah. I want to sit next to Trump. He goes, no. Not New York. Not New York. No. We got a private plane. Ben Stiller. I'm not a big fan of Ben Stiller, okay? My man Spike Lee, who I destroyed after he dressed as a Palestinian at the NBA All-Star game. I destroyed him. But and again, he walked up to me opening day at Yankee Stadium. Was very, very nice. But Could you imagine this private plane, 4.5-hour trip to San Antonio, Texas, Wednesday night, Game 1, Knicks Spurs, knowing with me on a plane with Ben Stiller and Spike Lee?
Yeah, I'd want somebody to record that.
Yeah. How's that going to go?
I think it would actually go okay. I bet you'll end up liking them, but I would love to hear the conversation.
I like Spike. I don't know. It's a tough call. I used to love Ben Stiller. That movie he made with Cameron Diaz, Something About Mary.
Oh, it's great. And then
great. The Flockers were stupid. Those were stupid movies.
Yeah, they were all right.
De Niro was
a
jerk off. Nah, dumb.
He's done a lot of funny movies over the years.
Well, that one specifically killed me, but now I hate him, so. I don't know. I liked his father. Wasn't his parents Ann and Ben Stiller? Yeah. Wasn't he the dad in King of Queens?
He was, and he was on Seinfeld too.
Yeah. No, his parents are very nice, but he's a dick. At any rate, maybe I'll just go on the plane and punch him in the face and walk off.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. This is for President Trump, bitch. Let me take a quick break. When we get back, she's been in Studio One. She's in charge of all our small businesses and doing a bang-up job for President Trump. Kelly Loeffler makes her return to Sid and Friends in the morning.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The ongoing federal relief is cutting taxes and cutting regulation. Look, Democrats layered on $5 trillion of regulation over the Biden administration. They voted to raise taxes on every hardworking American, on every farmer, on every builder in this country. And so this president is focused on bringing prices down for the long term. And that's what's going to happen as soon as this conflict is.
Kelly is kind enough to join us once again on this Monday morning in New York City. Miss Loeffler, how are you? Good Monday morning.
Well, good morning, Sid. I'm delighted to be on with y'all today. And yes, that was an epic cabinet meeting. Once again, our 12th since President Trump started his second term. And I love that they're all on television. So glad you watched it.
No, it's great theater. It's great TV, and you get to know some of you guys. You know, you hear the names, but to see Marco and like even the little things like writing stuff down on paper or scratching their nose or whatever it is, you get to see you guys in action. And President Trump just kind of sitting there looking around and nodding at people and shaking his head. It's the 12th one now, so now they're easy. Were you ever intimidated the first time you sat in that room with him?
Well, Sid, of course, I will tell you, you walk into that room, it's so historic. And the president over the last couple of months has, or now years, has made it more and more beautiful. And the press is there. And, you're with your colleagues and everyone's excited to talk about what they're doing. And so you just hope to have the opportunity to share that with everyone. And I was really grateful I got to share with the president the work that he has put in and the results. So that's mainly, we all want to show up and be able to talk to the American people directly about the results, because that's what the fake news won't tell you, is exactly what's going on the ground. And that's what's incredible about this cabinet. We're all private sector people. We love to come in, report on results, and then get back out on the road. In fact, I left that night for Arizona with Brooke Rollins to go to a cotton farm.
Yeah, I know. I'm familiar. I've got a friend who works with J.D. Vance and with Brooke. Was actually in Maine a couple of weeks ago. What was President Trump doing that night? It was something big. Oh, he was here. He was here in Rockland County with Mike Lawler, and J.D. the night before had this big rally in Maine and, checking out the cotton farms. And Brooke Rollins does a terrific job, too. So the last time you were here, you were cooking. Small business was cooking. The economy was cooking. The numbers were starting to improve dramatically. It just felt like Trump 2016 again. Then, of course, started the war, which I was all for. Still am. The whole Iran conflict, but we know what's going on with the economy since that war started. And we keep hearing the same thing, Kelly, from Trump and you, quite frankly, and others, which is, hey, look, when the war's over, everything's coming back. Price is going to come down. Small businesses will do well again. We keep hearing that, and I believe it's true. I really do, in my heart of hearts, believe it's true. But you do understand that Americans, even some really rabid Trump supporters, are a little nervous, a little bit.
Sid, I understand. The president understands, and we are monitoring the numbers day to day. And one of the things that we are very focused on, obviously, is price levels. So you think about inflation has ticked up. Core inflation has been more steady when you strip out the volatile energy prices, which hopefully as this peace agreement comes into frame, we get a sense of where those prices are going. Oil has a 9 handle now. The energy markets are predicting it to drop dramatically in the next few months, which is good news. But in the meantime, we understand there's real world impacts. However, that has not gotten in the way of what President Trump is driving, which is really a new economic boom that really starts with small business, because small businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs. In the last 2 months, we've seen job numbers of 313,000 private sector jobs added. And so nothing says confidence like bringing on that employee to work for you, to train them, to give them benefits. And in fact, we now have record business starts in this country. Never before in the history of America have we had 400,000, 500,000 starts consistently month after month since the start of the year. That takes real confidence because you're putting your money on the line and starting a new enterprise. So I think people understand this is short term, and we're building for the long term because we've got the tax cuts, deregulation, fair trade that are really the tailwinds on all of this.
Just had my boss in studio, John Catsimatidis. He loves you too. Great guy. He talked about how...
Hey, Cats, hello.
Yeah, I will. And he talked about the big businesses, whether it's at Amazon, one of those places, what that means to the small businesses in and around them, which is huge. That's why AOC is such a moron when she voted against Amazon coming to Queens. But when you look at what's happening, Kelly, in a city like mine in New York, where the mayor wants to tax just about everything and he's making life miserable for people who should be, quite frankly, who should be rewarded, they're inspiring, people who made billions of dollars, whether it's Ken Griffin or John Catsimatidis or Bill Ackman or President Trump. Instead, he's turning these people into criminals, into villains, and they're leaving. They're taking their businesses elsewhere. So it seems to me, Kelly, like we may have just a couple of states, if you will, that will be doing big, big business because all these DSA, these Democrats, these psycho mayors are forcing successful businesses to leave some of our biggest states.
They are. This is a political agenda. This is a choice. They want those folks to leave so that they can win political points with their base. It's kind of similar to the fraud. They want to perpetuate fraud in government because that's how they keep their base engaged, by letting them rip off hardworking taxpayers. So it's a bit of fraud on the American people when you chase your biggest employers out of the state, your biggest taxpayers who are funding all the infrastructure. And that's true in New York. It's true in California, Washington State, Illinois, hundreds of thousands of people and hundreds of businesses pouring out of those states with billions and billions of tax dollars leaving. And those are losses those are people that aren't coming back. So this is what I see as I go across the country. I talk to small businesses in New York. They have a set of problems that's very different from the small businesses I might talk to down in Florida or Georgia. And, some of the problems in the South are more related to growth, and I need to hire people. And in New York, it's like I got the county walking in telling me I didn't hang my lights right, and I got to buy more fluorescent lighting So they're just getting picked on. The smallest, the big guys will be okay. Look, they're going to relocate. The small business that is providing service in their local community in the Bronx or wherever they might be located, in Staten Island and Queens, they can't just pick up and move. And so they're under attack by an activist government that doesn't believe in the American dream or in free enterprise.
So the question becomes then, Kelly, what's the fix? What do you tell those people in Brooklyn who, like you said, are being picked on and hounded and made miserable by this crazy DSA mayor? What do you tell those people?
Well, we're doing in the Trump administration what we can do with cutting taxes, deregulating, making sure that they have a voice wherever we can, particularly in the working family tax cuts that benefited small businesses tremendously and New Yorkers with the expanded SALT deductions. So trying to make some of that more palatable, but at the end of the day, what we can do is provide a voice. But also, I would just say that this president understands that hardworking Americans deserve someone in Washington that is fighting to protect the taxpayer dollars that they do pay, no matter where they live. And that's why we've taken on this investigation into fraud across the country. And unfortunately, some of the blue states, blue cities are the worst offenders. So the least we can do is make sure that their taxpayer dollars we have good stewardship of them, and that as many dollars as they can stay in their own pockets. But if they have to send them to Washington, they're going to be spent wisely.
Yeah, on the way out, Kelly, the amount of impressive people in Trump's administration working on fraud. Lee Zeldin, he uncovered a ton of fraud with the EPA. I know you know that. Then you've got J.D. Vance. You know, he's out there every day trying to uncover fraud. Dr. Oz, right here in New York with Medicare and Medicaid. Even my friend, the former Congressman Anthony D'Esposito with the Labor Department, he's uncovered billions in fraud. I mean, that's a lot of money. You know, all four of these guys, and there are more, looking at this every day, they've all uncovered billions of dollars, Kelly. That's a lot of money.
Sid, we found $22 billion at the SBA in PPP loans that were fraudulently obtained that the Biden administration knew about, tried to give de facto amnesty to the people that they knew were fraudsters, ripping off small businesses. And so we're prosecuting. We're going through Treasury for collections and the DOJ. And we're going
is that still right? I know Jim Jordan in Congress was on top of that. He still is?
Oh, everyone's looking at it. This is an approach. It's in Congress. I'm part of the JD's Vice President Vance's task force, and we are going to go root and branch and make sure that it doesn't happen again. This is the key. We have to have deterrence, and we have to have accountability, and we have to try to get as much money of that back. But in the first place, we should never let it go out the door. And that's what I think Congress is going to work on. That's what each of us at our agencies are working on now.
Kelly, you're great. I can't say enough nice things about you. I loved you when you were in studio.
Good. Thank you.
No, you really are. You're great. And I know President Trump loves you, and I love you. America loves you. Keep up the good work. When you're back in New York City, please come back into the studio, okay?
Will do. Go Knicks.
Go Knicks. All right. How about that? Kelly Loeffler, the Small Business Administration. If the Knicks win, Kelly, just so you know, talking about small business, every bar, every restaurant, all the hotels, you know, you get to the NBA Finals, that's a lot of good money for small businesses in New York, yes?
You're exactly right. I was up at the Yankees last year, you know, when we were trying to make a run for it. It was over at Stan's. You know, that's a great small business. So we got to make sure that we support our small businesses.
That's a great reference, Stan. That's a terrific place. Kelly, you're great. We love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sid.
Take care. All right, Kelly Loeffler right there in charge of our Small Business Administration for President Trump and one of my favorite people in Trump's cabinet. We'll take a short break when we get back. Love this guy, Congressman out of Florida. You talk about a set of balls. They don't come bigger. Randy Fine.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
He hates you. He wants you dead. He wants you dead.
You actually believe that Mayor Mamdani wants Jews to be dead?
I'm not sure he doesn't. That's my answer.
What basis do you have for that?
I don't think he cares either way.
I mean, to say that he wants people dead is a scary thing for people to believe, and you have a lot of people who follow you.
Prove me wrong. When you've got a mayor who's not here today, the only mayor in the history of our city, Melissa, you're a smart girl, okay, who uses some nonsense excuse about Israel and Bibi. Is this parade in Tel Aviv? Is Bibi Netanyahu here? It's nothing to do with Israel and Bibi. He hates the Jewish people. He hates us.
But does his absence actually mean that he wants them dead? I mean, is that not inflammatory?
Not inflammatory to me. It's more, why don't you ask him about his wife?
We have asked him. Sure we have.
The press in this city is much more obsessed with what Sid Rosenberg says on a radio show than what the mayor, his wife, and his father. You guys should be pressing that guy every single day and not worry what I have to say at a private Jewish event on a Wednesday night in Battery Park.
As the mayor of our city, I take seriously my responsibility to protect the safety and well-being of every New Yorker and every event, regardless of my attendance.
With due respect, Sid, you have a big following and people listen to you. And if you're telling people that Mayor Mamdani wants Jews dead, does that not make Jews feel more fearful than they already do? Isn't he providing the resources and having his police commissioner protect this parade?
Hold on a second. He's providing resources? He had two opportunities to put buffer zones in front of synagogues and shuls. He did neither one. He celebrated Nakba Day. Listen, if I say something that's a little inflammatory, he says stuff every day that's inflammatory. Tough. Every opportunity, he fails. You're doing a good job. Thank you very much. What is she talking about? You can get mad at me all you want. You yelled at me because I called him a terrorist. You want the terrorist sympathizer. It's all nonsense, okay? At the end of the day, everything this guy does and says is, I hate the Jews. There was no reason for him not to be there yesterday. That was on Fifth Avenue in New York City. Some of you dopes walking yesterday actually voted for this guy. Nothing to do with Bibi or Israel. He just hates the Jews. He hates me and he hates Randy Fine. He may hate you as much as he hates me.
I hope he does. If he doesn't, it doesn't mean I'm doing my job right.
At this point, as one of our most valued congressmen and one of Trump's favorites, you mean that, don't you? You really want this mayor to hate you because you're one of the few people that says a lot of the same things that I say, and you don't care, do you?
No, because if we don't speak out against evil, evil will win. And their strategy is to bully us and threaten us and label us to get us to stop talking. Look, this guy said globalize the Intifada. That means kill the Jews. He said he doesn't believe in the state of Israel. That means kill all the Jews over there. The statements that you make should not be considered controversial, but they want to try to do that to demonize you and to get you to shut up. If we shut up, we die. That's why we have to be vocal about it.
Really, the bottom line. So, like I said, people came to me and said, you shouldn't call him a terrorist.
He is a terrorist.
Right, but because here's where they're silly. They think terrorist means he's got a gun, he's got a bomb. Absolutely not. You can be a terrorist with your words.
Is the person who funds the terrorists a terrorist?
Of course.
The person who defends the terrorist a terrorist?
Of course.
Is the government that hosts the terrorist a terrorist?
Of course.
Yeah, you don't have to be the person with the bomb strapped to your chest to be the terrorist. If you believe in terrorism, you're a terrorist, and he clearly does.
Look at his best buddy, the face of campus terrorism, this lowlife scumbag who should be deported, Mahmoud Khalil. You can tell me that guy's not a terrorist?
He is a terrorist. He stood and he terrorized kids at Columbia University, made them scared. Some guy who's been in the country for 13 years as a student. What are you doing for 13 years getting an education? He is friends with, he supports, he justifies, he advocates, he makes excuses for terrorists. That makes him a terrorist.
And the problem is, again, the great congressman out of Florida, Randy Fine, we discussed this at the break with our lovely friend Emily Austin. He's not the only one. This is becoming a pandemic in our country of these DSA candidates. You got one running tomorrow against Spencer Pratt and Karen Bass, but she's not even as dangerous as some of these other ones. You got a guy in Michigan, you got a guy in Colorado. You got people all over this country, Randy, that are every bit as bad as Mamdani. I'm not going to say worse because I think he's about as bad as it gets, but this is becoming a big issue across our nation.
Yeah, I am focused on this woman who came in first in the primary in Texas and then got 40% in the runoff after the whole Democratic establishment came out against her, who said she wanted to put all American Jews in concentration
camps.
She lost,
Galindo, no?
She did lose, but she still got 40%. Look at the guy in Maine who's got a Nazi tattoo on his chest. Look at the Muslim terrorist who's running in Michigan who hangs out with Hamas and Hezbollah. This is a real issue, and if we do not start to speak aggressively and truthfully about it, we will lose. We have to be as aggressive in telling the truth as they are in lying.
How about the people around you? Does Mike Johnson ever say to you, hey, Randy, I love you, but take it easy, okay? Or President Trump? Has anybody around you in the political world, not I don't care what the writers say or other people say, has anybody in your political realm said to you, hey, Randy, we're with you, but take it easy?
All the time, but here's what I would say to them. We live in 1932 Germany today. We live in a time in 1932 Germany, there were two kinds of Jews, those who left and those who died. Today we have a new kind of Jew, the Jew that will fight. None embody that better than what we see in Israel. And so we have to tell the truth. What I've learned in my year in Washington is Democrats are viciously focused on destroying the country, and most Republicans want to manage our decline politely. I'm there to fight, and I'm not going to apologize for it.
So if somebody said to you, hey, Randy, if you don't calm down here, this could be it. Something tells me that Randy Fine, that in terms of integrity and what you believe in, that you'd rather go down that way than change anything you do and or say to make those people happy.
Of course, I don't live in fear of judgment of the voters. I live in fear of the judgment of my children. When my time on this earth comes to an end, it won't be the people who voted for me who come to my funeral. It will be my kids. And my kids will ask the question, was Dad serving in Congress worth it? Did he use the time to save America and to make it better? That's what keeps me up at night. I don't really care what the naysayers have to say.
And what do your kids say, your kids and your wife? They go, Dad, I'm proud of you. Because my kids, for the most part, they do. They yell at me. I'm not going to lie to you. They go, Dad, why did you say that? I go, when you get to host your own radio show, sweetheart, you can say whatever you want to say. But I do get that occasionally. Dad, why did you say that?
It's hard for them. I'm not going to lie, but they know why I do what I do. You know, I wear a kippah every day because my oldest son asked me to, because he had Jewish friends that go to college who didn't feel safe wearing theirs.
Harvard, right?
No, that's where I went to school.
Okay.
My son's about to go to the Naval Academy, so I'm very proud of him.
Wow, how about that?
But you know, it is important that we be willing to be a good example for our kids, that we fight for them. This is a dangerous time for America and for the world. The only thing holding back evil in the world today, there are only two countries that are even trying. It's Israel and the United States. Western Europe is gone. Just look at the videos coming from over there. So if we don't stand up, if we don't fight back against the lunatics like Mamdani and the DSA, it's over, because Israel is little. We're at least big. And if we don't fight them as aggressively as they fight us, we will lose. And I'm not willing to let that happen.
Are you worried about the future for Israel if in fact, this Iran deal gets met? At least I've been told. I haven't seen it, okay? But there is some loosening of restrictions, money, okay? And we know that Obama and Biden did a lot of that. And that's how, in the end, Iran ended up funding all their proxy terror groups, all of them. I don't know how much we're going to let go, how much easier it's going to be for those guys. But are you worried that in a potential deal that Iran will once again be able to rebuild some of the stuff we saw back in 2023?
I trust Donald Trump. And there are three things we have to get done in a deal with Iran. No nuclear weapon, no missile that could deliver nuclear weapon to the United States, and a free and open Strait of Hormuz. And I trust President Trump to get that done. But, you know, you asked about, am I worried about the future of Israel? I'm actually pretty confident that 50 years from now, Israel will still be there. What I worry about is the United States of America. And when I see these people, when I see people that I serve with in Congress, when I see the mayor of New York, you talk about how he hates the Jews. I think he hates the United States of America, too.
Oh, sure.
He certainly hates the values of the United States of America. When he talks about taking people's property away, this is America. If people want to go be communists, leave.
Yeah.
And so I worry about the future of our country much more than I worry about the future of Israel.
That's fair. Don't forget, move away from the Jews for a second. When Cardinal Dolan was removed by Pope Leo and he installed Ronald Hicks, and we talk about how the mayor was the first mayor ever not to be at the parade yesterday, he also did not go to St. Patrick's Cathedral for Ronald Hicks' installation, really screwing the Catholics and the Christians. He did the same thing to those guys. Same thing.
But he'll show up at the mosques where the imam says we're going to use the sword to strike down the infidel. That's totally fine. I mean, he is a bad guy who, frankly, he should not only not be the mayor of New York, he should not be a citizen of the United States of America. The guy lied to become a citizen. He never should have been allowed to become one. And frankly, the solution to him as mayor of New York is to denaturalize and deport him back to his home country of Uganda.
Can we do that?
Sure we can. I mean, I think the focus right now is looking at Ilhan Omar, another person who lied in their naturalization papers. One of the things I've learned in Congress is I've come to believe that illegal immigration was just a distraction to make us stop looking at what they were doing on legal immigration. The legal immigration system is a joke. Legal immigration should be about people who love America, share our values, and want to add to this country. Instead, we allowed all these people coming in who hate America, want to destroy it, and want to change our values. We've got to fix that too. The problems facing this country are enormous, and it's why we need people fired up to make sure that we can continue to do the job that President Trump and guys like me were elected to do.
Let me rewind this for 1 second. You know, there are people that wake up every day trying to figure out how to get rid of this guy. They've asked me to run for mayor in 2029. And, you know, Jessica Tisch or somebody like that will probably be his biggest competitor because he already thinks he's going to win again. Rewinding the tape, you said that you think there's a chance that we can get this guy out of here. He could be deported. You really do?
I think it's a small chance, but it is clear, it is unambiguous that he was not honest in his immigration papers. He is a naturalized citizen, and he did not disclose the kinds of relationships that would have kept you from becoming a citizen. So absolutely, it should be done. Whether people will have the courage or not to do it, I don't know. Not everyone's like me.
No, they're not. This is the amazing fighter, Congressman Randy Fine from the great state of Florida. And, you know, you've got a guy you're taking on who you're going to destroy. It's not even worth mentioning him, but we may as well. And he's about as radical a Jew hater as Mamdani is. Dan Blizzard. I can't even say his name. I don't care. But
I just call him the little Armenian. He's not from America. He's a dual citizen. And I don't think look, I filed a bill that said foreigners shouldn't serve in Congress, whether they're from Armenia or whether they're from Israel. Foreigners should not be able to serve in Congress. And a big part of our problem in Congress today is there may be dozens of members of Congress who are citizens of other countries. That simply shouldn't be allowed.
I feel that's the case. You know, when I sit down and watch President Trump deliver the State of the Union, I feel like there's only a couple of Americans and folks from every place else. There
are over 30 members of Congress who could be a citizen of a foreign country because they were born somewhere else. They could have given it up when they became an American citizen. They may not. And there could be others like this little Armenian that's running against me who chose to become a citizen of another country.
So I'm surprised that people in Congress aren't for that. I mean, look, I'm very, very close with Mike Loeffler. I love the guy. We've had dinner together, me and him, Capitol Grill, D.C. He wouldn't be for something like that. But I got to think there'll be other members of Congress right with you. Not really? You're not getting any traction?
The challenge is, there are some members of Congress who people like who may be dual citizens. Here's what I've learned. Change is hard. No one wants to change. Again, Democrats vicious in pushing evil on us. Republicans are like, don't be too aggressive. Don't be too harsh. Why can't we all get along?
Right. Take it easy. I know. What happened to your friend Marjorie Taylor Greene? Honestly, what happened?
Well, she quit.
I know, but what happened to her?
I don't think she's very smart. I mean, I think that's part of the problem.
But she was, look, I was told from day one she was crazy. Loeffler at the Esposito.
Remember, she's space laser lady. Sometimes people cover up their views because they know
she's an anti-Semite.
Yeah,
but that came later. There was a time, I'm not going to lie to you, she would get all dressed up in her Make America Great stuff. I thought she was crazy, but I thought she was certainly a good fighter for us. And then it all went sideways.
I think she wanted President Trump to endorse her for the Senate. He wouldn't do it, and she got angry about it. But she's not very smart, and I think she always was. Think about it. If you care so much about the country, why do you quit? I mean, Massey at least had the courage to stand up and let us beat him.
Right.
Marjorie Taylor Greene just gave up and walked away as a quitter.
Yeah.
Look, I'm glad they're both gone. It makes me proud to be a Republican because I look at how we've dealt with anti-Semitism on our side versus how Democrats have dealt with anti-Semitism on theirs. They've allowed it to fester and take over. We had 2 anti-Semites that served in Congress, and we've taken them both out.
Massey's talking about running for president. Did you see that?
Well, look, grifter's got a grift. And, look, he couldn't get people who he served for more than a decade in Kentucky to vote for him. Unlike Marjorie, he's not stupid. I mean, I think
he's a very smart guy.
His views are evil, and his views are dumb. But look, I mean, he's a professional politician, got to come up with a way to make some loot. And look, what people don't understand is you can raise all of this money and you can filter it back into your own pockets. It's not something that I do, but there are many people who do it.
Oh, I've seen that. A lot of different races, not just Congress, mayor, all these different political jobs. People walk out wealthier than when they started, when they weren't supposed to. I want to talk about what's going on in Newark at this ICE facility where these people go out there and you got a governor, I call her Mikey Muhammad Cheryl. She's out there dressed as if she was walking off a plane from Afghanistan, hanging out in Passaic mosques and with clerics that were allegedly very, very bad people. And she's out there doing what all these governors do. Hochul here in New York, Newsom in Los Angeles, and obviously Walz in Minnesota, which is saying horrible things about these ICE agents. And now you get all these morons standing outside looking to fight, and the next Preddy or the next Good maybe just moments away. What do you think of when you see this stuff happening in New Jersey?
Well, it's all fake. None of this is organic. It is all paid. And by the way, the best example of this was the Israel Day parade yesterday. If this liberal cause thing was real, in this huge parade, you would have expected some people to protest somewhere. But none of this is real. It's all paid. It's all organized. These people are all professionals. It's not regular people out doing this. But I do agree with the protesters on one thing. Those detention centers shouldn't exist because we should not let these illegals pass go. They should not collect $200. Right. I am willing to work with Hakeem Jeffries and the Democrats to say, let's just get them straight on planes and let's get them home.
Good luck.
We do not need to keep them in detention centers. Get them out of the country.
Hakeem Jeffries is not a very smart person either. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go. Trump calls him a very low IQ person, but he's not a very smart person.
Look, so-called Hakeem just caters to the people who are in his caucus, but no, he's not a very bright guy.
Save America Act. Is that going to happen?
I don't know. I mean, look, the Senate has been very disappointing to me. They don't seem focused on doing the job that the voters sent them to do.
And you're talking specifically, too, about a lot of you guys tell me, both on the air and in confidence, that they're very upset with John Thune. Very upset.
I'm upset with the Senate. I hold them all responsible. I made a decision a few months ago. I said, I'm not voting for any Senate bills until they pass the Save America Act. So when you see Senate bills come through the House and you see like 5 people vote against them because they're for feel-good kinds of things, I'm one of the 5 because there will come a point when they need my vote to pass a Senate bill, and I'm going to say, you pass the Save America Act or you don't get it. What's crazy is almost every American wants what's in the Save America Act. It's not a Republican bill. It's not a Democratic bill. It's not an independent bill. Everyone thinks you should have to show a photo ID to vote. So I don't know what the issue is, and I don't know why they won't get it done.
What is at the very top of the docket for Congress to get done in the very, very near future?
Well, we have to, speaking of the Senate needs to send us the reconciliation bill to fully fund ICE and Customs and Border Patrol. We were supposed to do it before we left on our Memorial Day recess. They didn't. They got mad and they went home. Hopefully we will do it this week. The other thing we have to do...
It's going to be July 4th before you know it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we need to put the Senate in the UFC ring and let them fight it out. But the other thing that we need to do is we need to pass the Surveillance Act that allows us to surveil foreign terrorists, Muslim terrorists, when they're in countries around the world. And that's got to get passed in the next few weeks as well.
What are the chances of that?
I think it's 100% because everyone knows that it has to be done. The overwhelming majority of the intelligence that this country operates on is collected through that bill. There have been abuses, and I understand some of the concerns. No one's dealt with those abuses more than Donald J. Trump, but he's telling us, I need this to keep America safe, and so we have to get it done.
Honest answer, Randy. Fine. Don't give me the I'm a Republican and I feel good about this. Honest answer. Are we going to retain the House and the Senate?
I think we have a good shot. I don't think we know. I mean, that's what I'll say. So if the conflict in Iran comes to an end, gas prices go back down, that's a good thing. If Democrats keep nominating crazy people, that's bad for the country if they happen to win.
But good for us.
But they seem to be nominating the most unelectable people possible. So I am optimistic, but we do need the conflict in Iran to come to an end, but we need it to come to an end on our terms, not theirs.
Your dad is very, very cute. I miss mine. Your dad is very, very cute, and I know he's very proud of you. I know he is. I am. I'm not even your father. And you got a big afternoon coming up. I speak before you, I think. I speak at about noon. You're later in the afternoon. Jerusalem Post Conference. You make yourself available, Randy, for all these big events, which we appreciate all across the country, and you're proud to do it, aren't you?
Yeah, look, it's, as I say, we have to tell our story, the story of conservatism, the story of saving America. Look, we have no better mouthpiece than President Trump, but we all have a role to play in doing that because the evildoers are very vocal and they're often very slick and they say things that sound good. Free buses, free housing, free this. And people go, yeah, that sounds great. We have to explain why they're wrong and why their policies will destroy the country. And if I have a gift to help with that, it's something I like to do.
Free buses are $4, just so you know.
Free healthcare is very expensive.
Yeah.
Do you know the budget of the state of Florida, where I live and where I served in the legislature for 8.5 years, is half the size of the budget of the state of New York.
Oh no,
we have more people.
I know you actually now you do. We always had more people.
Yeah.
Now you've got more people. In fact, Randy, you can combine the budgets of your state and Texas, DeSantis and Abbott. It is still less than New York, which is insane.
And then your politicians say, but you don't have enough money. You don't have enough money.
Right.
Raise taxes, raise taxes, raise taxes.
That's right.
In Florida, every kid who gets a certain diploma when they graduate from high school can go to a Florida university for free. You don't offer that in New York.
Nope, I didn't.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, my kids grew up in Boca. So my son Gabriel, who's a junior in high school right now,
bright futures.
He is looking at University of Florida.
Yep.
We did that.
The overwhelming majority of Floridians that go to the University of Florida go for free.
Yeah.
And and we do that with no income tax, and we may be cutting our property taxes. Florida shows there's a different way you can govern than the insanity we see in places like New York. It's very sad because you talk about Mamdani's future. His future may be very bright because everyone with a brain is going to leave New York and come to Florida. So the only people you'll be left with are stupid people who are willing to vote for this stuff.
It's true. I get Rick Scott and Sean Hannity at least 3 days a week say to me, come back to Boca, come back to Boca. And I've thought about it more than once. It's great to see you. You really are one of my favorite people in the world today. You're great, Randy. Thank you so much for your great work. I'll see you at Jerusalem Post later on today.
Sounds good.
That is the amazing congressman of the state of Florida, really one of our finest warriors, not just the Jewish people, but American people, tremendous politician, great guy, Randy Fine. We'll take a short break, and in about 50 minutes, I'll hand the football to Brian Kilmeade.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I'm honored to be in the presence of greatness, especially you, Sid.
Well, thank you. I feel the same. Now, did you know Randy before? I know you guys must have met once or twice.
Yeah, definitely. I think Randy's so great. You know what it is? You mentioned to him, do people ever tell you, calm down, don't be so extreme?
Yeah.
When you have an opposite equal force, the Ilhan Omars, the Rashidas, the, I don't know, you name them, the Al, whatever his last name is, you need Randy, because why should we be bullied? I'm sorry. I'm such a huge believer that you will receive as much as you're willing to tolerate. And the Jewish people tolerate so much nonsense. And we're always like, let's take the high road and kill them with kindness.
Like
but when they're killing you with knives, your kindness doesn't mean anything. And Randy knows that.
Randy does know that. He, again, I changed some of my vernacular. Like I used to call Mamdani a terrorist, and he is. Yeah. Not because he killed somebody or strapped himself with bombs. You don't have to do that to be a terrorist.
No.
But I changed it because people got upset. The terrorist sympathizer. I'm watching Randy on television yesterday. He goes, that Muslim terrorist. So he's not very forgiving, and I love that about him. You and I shared a big event on Wednesday night, and this guy, James Maslow, is great. Did you know him before?
Yeah, so Big Time Rush, when I was growing up, it was like it wasn't a rom-com. It was just like our version of Friends.
My kids knew it. Even Gabriel watched it.
No, he's Big Time. I get it, Big Time Rush.
Big Time Rush, yeah. So he was on Nickelodeon, and now he's a singer and an actor.
Yeah.
And, of course, a pro-Israel guy. He's a very handsome guy, very handsome.
Yeah.
So he was there. He was honored. You and I were honored. Former college basketball coach, all-time great Bruce Pearl. Mm-hmm. He was honored. And I love your speech because you spoke after me. We got our awards, and we were there for a couple of hours. And I said that I was surprised that it happened so quickly, that the world turned on Israel. I knew it was coming. But it was like a day, like October 9th, you know? And I was a little surprised by that. And I think you said you were surprised that it happened at all. In the manner it has.
I grew up so privileged to never have experienced anti-Semitism. I never experienced actually any form of bigotry. I went to a public school where everyone coexisted till high school.
In Hewlett?
Yeah, Hewlett. We had Muslims, Christians, Russians, Jews, everyone. It's diverse. And everyone just respects each other. I mean, it's Long Island. First of all, it's Bruce Blakeman's Long Island now. So
but
it's
not when
even
you were
better.
a kid.
No, but
when
I'm
you
saying
were growing
now
up,
it's the same thing.
It was, what's her name? It was, I like her too. I love Bruce more, obviously. But Laura Curran, if you remember her.
Long Island's always good. Nassau County's great. And Bruce now, it's still great. It's actually greater. It gets better every year. It's safe. I want to live there one day with my children. Public schools are great. I never thought after October 7th, there's videos, right? I said this in my speech. Like, the Nazis tried to bomb the camps. They tried to hide their crimes. Hamas, they were very proud of their crimes, like Bin Laden. Like, they're like, I did this. I want all the smoke.
Right.
And the fact that despite them bragging about murdering people, liberals still manage to side with them, I will never understand.
Can't believe it.
It's just, I'm almost too rational, and I have too much common sense to really
can't believe it.
Understand the concept that people side with terrorists. And now, fast forward 5 years, three years since October 7th, I guess, whatever. I started noticing this in college, but it's normal. Yeah. Our mayor supports Hamas. Our mayor's wife, she was liking posts of Israelis being burnt on October 7th. And it's sad how normal it is. I don't know what I'm going to tell my kids one day.
It'll
so some people love terrorists and some people don't.
It'll be fixed by then. Yeah.
You really think so?
No. I don't.
I don't think so
But
either.
I don't want you not to have kids because you're worried
No,
that
I'm
the
gonna
world
have,
is going to be a terrible place.
What do you mean? Who's going to balance this out? We need
Right.
to have more kids.
How many
We need
kids do
to-
you think you'll have?
Realistically, I'd
Yeah.
love 3, but if I
3.
can have more, I'll have
But if
more.
you have 3, then do you want 2 girls and a boy?
I
2
want
boys.
4 boys.
You want 4 boys.
I want a little army in my
Boys
home.
are much easier to.
Yeah.
Girls are very difficult. Ava, I love Ava to pieces, and she's brilliant and beautiful like you, but she's a little more difficult than Gabe. And Ronnie tells me and Natalie that you're almost impossible. So
That was more Natalie telling you that for sure.
she
My
would
dad
say
would
that, right?
never say that.
No, but first of all, your parents are great people. I love them both,
Thank
and they're
you. I
beautiful
agree.
people. And now you have an older sister. How does this work again?
So I have an older brother, then it's myself. I have a younger sister, and then a
That's
younger
right.
brother. My mom we're a village.
You're a village.
And she wanted more.
2 boys and 2 girls.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's beautiful.
fantastic. It is.
I just can't I grew up a tomboy. My older brother, and by the way, every younger sister needs an older brher. They just balance you out. So I was
the
always
other way
playing
around.
sports.
There should be
Yeah.
at least a boy and a girl.
Yeah, but then the younger brother becomes more feminine. The older brother kind of leads the way.
Is that
You know
right?
what I mean?
Is that what happened to Hassan Piker?
Hassan Piker is definitely an only child who lacks serious attention,
He
who
does?
has sexual identity issues.
Is he
and won't
gay?
accept- I think he's like a cross-dresser. Like
Oh,
he
wow.
wears
Yeah.
sexy housemaid lingerie. I'm sorry. If you are a man and you're putting on lingerie, you're not straight.
Right.
There's no such thing as bi, by the
No,
way.
I totally agree with you.
He's gay.
Once a man has done that, and Lewis can tell you this, once a man has done it even once, he's gay.
100%.
Does he buy people's beauty products, Hassan Piker?
He's not allowed to buy people's beauty
He
products.
does. So you would not allow people you don't like to buy your products?
No, screw that.
Really?
No, I'm joking.
Isn't
Let them put money in my pocket.
Right. So you would
take your
you would
money.
allow Hassan Piker. How about Tucker Carlson? Could he buy your stuff?
Everyone could buy whatever they want.
Really?
Yeah, whatever they want. People's beauty is for all.
No kidding.
It's the people's beauty.
Right now, your father is so mad. He's like, Emily, just tell Sid
Why?
no.
Let me take Hassan and Tucker's money and I could go donate it to causes I believe in.
That is true. So I'm going to take a short break. I want to get you on quickly because you're great. And I want you to talk with the governor of Binyamin. I know you've been to Judea and Samaria many, many times. He's actually thinking about running for prime minister because Bibi's eventually going to leave. He's very popular, Israel Ganz. And a kid that is now the UFC champ. You're big into boxing and sports. You're great. In Israel and is now world renowned, believe it or not.
Wow.
Ahavat Gordon. They're both going to be live in studio with us. Quick break, Lewis. We'll come back with 3 amazing guests.
Sid and Friends in the morning on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
He's 19. He's a gorgeous kid, and he kicks ass all over the world. And then you've got my dear friend Israel Ganz, who is you're still the governor of Binyamin, correct? And Eliana, who gave me such a beautiful. You know, I still have the little thing that you gave me. It's on my coffee drawer in my house that you gave to me in Judea and Samaria.
Hasmonean.
Yes, and wherever I go, soon as somebody says the West Bank, I punch them across the face. Just so you know. What is it called, Israel? What's it called?
It's Judea and Samaria.
That's
Judea.
right.
Jews came from Judea. Judea belonged to the
Right.
Jews, and people try to delete that.
I
But
know.
remember,
Yeah, we don't let them do that. So tell me, you've been so nice to me. I've been to Israel many times. I'll be back again in a couple of weeks. I can't wait. June 18th, going to speak again at JNS. We've had great dinners together. You invited me to your place of business and gave me, Danielle, and Gabriel awards that morning. That was fantastic. Tell me the difference between Israel October 9th, 2023, and today.
so first we need people like you that proudly say the truth for the world, where people try to hide and to hide the truth. You said it very loudly. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And after October 7th, we woke up and we understood we cannot hide ourselves behind fences. And more of that, if you have an enemy behind the fence, never think that he is there and you are here. It will be at peace. No, he want to kill you. Trust him. And that's exactly what's going on in Iran when their representative march in their house, death for America, death for Israel. They mean that. We have to understand they mean that. Today, we are in, after 2 years, we are in Lebanon, deep in Lebanon, but still the war is running every single day. Like tonight, unfortunately, one soldier fell in Lebanon. They sent the drones. I think these drones will change the world for the world.
Me too.
Yeah.
It'll be good. It'll be good. It'll be good for us.
But
We have all
that's why
that. Yeah.
I can't imagine, like, you talk about Judea and Samaria. I've never been there.
Really?
I've never been there
No,
once.
Emily.
I've never been there. Let me tell you something. I'm petrified. I do not understand how Israel gives even an inch to people who want to murder them. An inch. People talk to me about Gaza. I don't want to hear it. Because my rule in life, whoever wants me dead, I don't care about you. And every single one of Israel's neighbors want them dead. So anyone that lives in these kibbutzim or around the border, I'm just like, imagine going to sleep at night knowing that somebody a mile or less away from you will stab you in your sleep. Given
that's what happened to my residents every single day. Like
Every
we
day.
have Palestinian authorities. They declare they want to destroy the state of Israel. They want to kill us. They hate us. They honor Sinwar and bad people like him.
Honor? I will never forgive Israel for curing this man of his
I know
cancer.
they actually saved his life.
Suicidal empathy.
But that's why my friend Mark Provisor, he's you guys know Mark, he's terrific. He's there every day protecting all the members of that community because you're right, they're outnumbered. Jews are outnumbered, and almost every day somebody gets hit by a rock or God forbid stabbed or shot. You know that, Elian. I mean, you guys do a great job there, and it's a lovely, beautiful place. You should go. You should still go. Stop hanging out in Tel Aviv every day, okay?
Go to Jerusalem.
See, we have to know that it's not our problem. When you have terror all over the world, it's like a cancer. It can arrive everywhere. We all remember 9/11. So
no,
we have,
excuse me, America forgot. And that's why
we
we're
have
dealing
to
with this.
fight terror.
That's why
whenever
Mamdani's
it is.
the mayor.
And in their places, we don't have to come to our places. We have to keep our places, our people, our families, our youth. And we have to attack the terror in his place.
Oh, no, you're right.
100%.
So how do you Ahavat Gordon is a very, very famous fighter. And, in fact, a buddy of mine is looking to make a movie about him, Forever Blessed. So you don't even realize how big you are around the world. And I think you just won a couple of weeks ago. What is your record, your fight record?
In Muay Thai is 12-0.
12-0?
And for now, just trying to climb the
Now, what did you call it, Muay Thai?
Muay Thai.
Okay,
Thai
so
boxing.
Thai boxing.
Yeah.
That's what you do. So it's not UFC, it's not MMA.
It's not MMA, no, not yet.
You can kick
It's similar though, right?
Is it similar?
It's no grappling and jiu-jitsu, no ground game, only stand-up game.
Oh, that's so much more fun.
So it's more like boxing.
It's like 100% interesting.
Sid, did you ever watch a UFC fight where they're just like wrestling on the floor and it gets boring?
Yeah.
They're not allowed to.
I have. Yeah, no.
Here we throw elbows, knees, and clinch, and
Oh, you can do
go
all
crazy.
that. Okay.
And when you
Okay.
fall on the floor, you just get up and then keep going at it.
That's so cool.
So you have you ever come close to losing? I know you're undefeated, but have you ever come close to losing? And have your fights been difficult? Or you just
100%.
Oh, you have.
100%. I almost lost many times, but I finished strong and won the fight.
Look at you. So how did you get with Mr. Israel Ganz? How did that
I
happen?
grew up in Judea and Samaria and Shiloh as a kid.
I love Shiloh. There you go. That's her place. Yeah, you go.
That was
I know that because Tila Balak probably took you there, right? Tila Balak probably took you there. Okay.
We're gonna take you.
So I grew up over
Yeah.
there, and I came here on behalf of Binyamin in Judea, Samaria, to represent the people there and Israeli people over here at the parade. My connection with them is that really the support I got when I was a child from the Motzah.
Oh, cool. So yes, it was your
yeah.
first parade here in New York City.
Yeah,
What'd
first
you
time.
think?
First time in America. And it was really fun.
First
It was-
time in America?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Welcome.
Thank you.
How about that?
He is an American. He's American. His
citizen.
father is
Never had
American.
time
I can
to.
tell you. So
Yeah.
where's your dad from?
Born in Brooklyn.
More in Brooklyn. Have you gone to Brooklyn since you've been here?
Yeah.
No? Oh, you have?
Yeah. I went to the Rabbi.
Oh, you went to the Rabbi. Very nice. Like a Jewish.
But we're so proud of people like him that tell the truth, get into the ring and fight for his future and for our
He
future.
can tell the truth because he'll punch your face in it. You know? I don't know about you and I, Israel, but this kid's tough. So when's your next fight?
July 27th. We are gonna open an event organization in Israel, a fighting organization that me and my brother are gonna fight there. And
your brother fights too?
Yeah, me and two other brothers, top level fighters.
So do you fight just Palestinians? I don't kidding.
We fight everybody, but one of my fights that really became popular in Israel, my fights against the anti-Semitic Turkish fighter.
Wow.
So it had a big story, and he was talking trash on TikTok.
He
and
knows English
Instagram.
curse words. I could say he almost.
And it started in social media, and then in the press conference, everything got heated up, and then the fight, I won pretty much. Yeah,
I love this so much. I think the best hasbara, I hate the word hasbara because I feel like we don't have to explain ourselves. But the best thing that the Jewish people can do is just succeed in life. Like I told
100%.
Danny the other day at the wedding, I love what you do, which is nothing. You just are successful, and that's enough to represent us. Gal Gadot, yourself. Like we need more people outside of hasbara to represent what we really
but Emily,
are.
it's not nothing. He gets up there with his tallis and his Israeli flag.
Yeah.
and his kippah.
Yeah.
And everybody said to him at the beginning, he says, "Don't wear your kippah. Why are you wearing tzitzis? Why are you bringing that flag? Just do your fight." No, he stands there proudly. He walks the street with his kippah, and he's not afraid.
I love that.
And he is an example for the younger generation.
That's what I tell the parents all the time. Stop hiding your mug and David. Stop taking your keep off. So, in terms of Judea and Samaria, she's never been there, but she's been to Shiloh.
She was soon.
She was there. It's a beautiful area. And I know, for example, One Israel Fund, our friend Scott Beltman, I saw him at the parade yesterday. He's built a brand new medical center there. So you guys, you know the place, of course. So you guys are starting to do bigger and better things. And I believe that more Jewish people are buying land there. Yes or no?
Of course, yes. Today we are 560,000 Jews in Judea and Samaria. We're expanding it as a communities. The last government approved 100 new towns, new villages in Judea and Samaria. But Sid, whenever we go, even if it's a farm, at that night he will be attacked by the Arabs there, not Palestinian Arabs, because I don't call them Palestinian. They are not belong to the state of Israel. Attacked, and it's the last year 7,600 terror attacks in Judea and Samaria. 7,600.
Wow.
We fight every single day, and at the same time they talk about the settler violence. This is false. Okay, they attack, but we're strong, and exactly like him, exactly like you, and exactly like our listeners, we're not hiding ourselves. We're proud of us, our identity.
Yeah. Do you think that there will come a day? I know that David Friedman talks about this all the time, and so do I. When it'll be annexed, when there'll be sovereignty in Judea and Samaria, because Trump doesn't really want to talk about that right now. So
I think the drones that we see right now will change everything. The answer will be yes, and I'll explain why. Today, they send the drone with fiber optic cables. It can run for 20 kilometers. You cannot shut it down, and it's teach us that whenever your enemy is, you cannot hide yourself, or us or them. And we here for stay in Judea and Samaria, so we will not have any different any choice. We apply the sovereignty, the Israel law over Judea and Samaria. It's our land. After long exile, we came back. We'll do that.
Okay.
I know we're running out of time. I want to say one thing, and everyone forgets to address this. It's become so normalized to just blatantly state Jews are not allowed to live here. What I don't understand is Israel allows Muslims, Christians, atheists. It doesn't discriminate. Correct. But people have become so comfortable calling Jews settlers. It's like, so you're admitting you don't want Jews living there? That is apartheid.
Of course.
To me, that's the most insane thing.
They've got signs in some of these communities in Judea and Samaria that actually say,
no
if you're
Jews.
a Jew, and forget about that, enter at your own risk, you could die here.
That's crazy.
They actually have signs where my friend Judah Honickman lives. It says,
I love Judah.
You drive in, you could die. Final 30 seconds. Israel Ganz, the governor of Binyamin, you're a tremendous politician. Will you be at some point the prime minister of Israel?
I don't know.
He's so humble.
I know, he's so cute.
I was not prepared for this question, but I will tell you. What I saw the last day here is a strong relationship between the United States of America and Israel. They are great than ever. We have a great president here, President Trump. And today, we are in a huge exam with Iran. They want to destroy us together. We are not allowed to let them continue with their nuclear.
Right.
We must stop that.
Right, and we will. Well, it's good to see everybody. Ahavat, you're a champ, and not just in the ring, but in real life. You're a great-looking kid, and I love you, so congratulations.
Thanks,
you know, you're one of my favorites, Israel Ganz. You're terrific. Eliana, you too. And Emily, I love you to pieces.
Love you.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?